gonna be pissed off again, y'all. Anyways, that's another story. Let me continue. Yeah. You know what happened? Yeah, that happened again. All right. Like the religions of old, both the gods and goddesses are equally venerated. The difference in religion and Luciferianism is that we do not accept something leading us. We are one with our daemon or true or higher self, which is also our primordial self. Like Dionysus, there's little need for restraint, as there's just a concept of survival and satisfying our primordial lust. The agatho daemon is our higher self, the faculties of our thinking and evolved mind. Both are balanced in Luciferianism. One is not greater than the other in the bigger picture. Sometimes one will control the other. However, balance for the Luciferian is an essential journey. The process and discipline in magic itself supports this inner balance. So again, to briefly reiterate, a deific mask is a specific representation of power. It represents a symbol of power. For example, I'm happy that Rogue Titan held up Darth Vader a few minutes ago. Darth Vader wears a mask. If you look at many Sith, they wear a mask because it's a representation of power. It represents them becoming an embodied God or embodied with the powers and abilities of a representation of some powerful symbol. So when we speak about the deific mask, it is symbolic of a power or representation that already exists within your subconscious mind. It is not reaching out to something like a god or goddess and saying, I want to be this god or goddess. Usually when you're attracted to an archetype, it's because the powers or representations already exist within your subconscious mind. And thus you're attracted to that because it's triggering those representations within yourself. It's not like you're reaching out and on a whim saying, okay, well, I want to be He-Man today. If it's not already in your subconscious mind, that symbolism wouldn't even excite you, attract you, or even move you. It would just cross your mind and keep it moving. So if something resonates with you and it stays in your mind and you keep seeing the representation of an archetype, that most likely is your subconscious mind reaching up and saying, hello, conscious mind. I'm trying to give you symbolism of a deific mask, a representation of power that you need to work with because it's dwelling within you, but you have not activated it yet. You have not gone further to bring it to the surface, so it's still dwelling here, inactive, waiting for you to make the connection to it. So in a sense, the deific mask is something that is calling you to work with and take forth that representation and power to go to a higher level. If you don't pay attention, then what happens is you're missing out on what you need to elevate and grow. Now, Rogue Titan, share on your behalf your feelings or ideas of about the deific mask and what it represents to you. You there?
Very simple. Just deific mask representing for me. Ravana, you hear me good on her?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My voice clear?
I can hear you, but you were
okay. Yeah,
up.
like I was saying, like, oh shit, hold up. No, like deific mask represent for me just more creative ways for me to tap into the latent power that's in my subconscious mind. Knowing that there's nothing external from me that doesn't exist already within my subconscious mind, it's just more ways for me to tap into those energies and embody them and become them. Like, for example, if I want to, so I'm happy you use the example of Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? When I think of Darth Vader, when I put on the deific mask of Darth Vader, I use, embody the force, the abilities that he have and the attributes. But one specifically is turning his anger into using that as his strength to persevere and have determination to chopping down any obstacles and attaining any goals to attain more knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the ways that I use Darth Vader when I do my ritual work. Another deific mask that I embody, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this one specifically, like Muhammad Ali, action figure. You see what I'm saying? One of the creative ways I use Muhammad Ali is I tap into him and using him to work on my throat chakra. You see what I'm saying? Because he speaks with assurance, self-confidence, and authority when he speaks. He's not shy when it comes to expressing himself. You see what I'm saying? All of those things, for me, attribute speaking clearly and using the throat chakra as, you know what I'm saying, having full communication with and knowing how to, you know what I'm saying, control the audience. Also, one of the ways that I use and I embody him is his you know what I'm saying, his psychological defense tactics and offensive tactics, and using and being able to psych out his opponents. And I use that as ways for me to, you know what I'm saying, tap into my own psychic abilities and being able to persuade or mind control an individual who I'm talking to or a group of people that I'm talking to. But keeping in mind the craftsmanship and the persuasive ways of which Muhammad Ali speaks in his body language, I keep that in mind when I'm communicating with people sometimes, when I embody him, you know what I'm saying, that deific master that he represents. So I mean, there's so many different examples of, you know what I'm saying, another example, I'm looking at Batman. You know what I'm saying? When I put on the deific mask of Batman, Bruce Wayne, what is his attributes? You know what I'm saying? What's his strengths? One of his strengths that I embody when I tap into him, his detective abilities, his detective skills. So if I want to, you know what I'm saying, dig into somebody and, you know what I'm saying, be a detective and trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, where they at psychologically and looking for ways where for exploitation or manipulation, I want to tap into Bruce Wayne because he's known as the, you know what I'm saying, the best detective in the DC universe, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? So I can use that archetype of what he represents as far as his deific mask, and to be able to psychologically break down any opponent or anybody that I'm talking to, and looking for creative ways or advantageous ways for me to have the upper hand on him. You see what I'm saying? Because he's known for not trusting nobody within the, you know what I'm saying, the hero community within the DC universe. So, and he always know how to take down his opponents, the Justice League. So that's another way I can use psychological tactics for me to be able to psychologically be able to take down anybody that I'm dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Any group of people that I'm, you know what I'm saying, doing experimentations on as far as like psychological different ways like that. And like I said, like when I put specifically these deific masks on my altar, like you was talking about before, you know what I'm saying, your altar is like a vortex of energy. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, everything just comes alive. You see what I'm saying? For me, psychologically. But one of the ways that I use them and tap into them, and I use magnetism. I don't have them in here because I've been using them. These are like adhesive magnets that you can buy from like Walmart for like $3. They come with like 18 of them. And on my altar, I have them set up for all these different deific masks that I tap into, you know what I'm saying, remotely when I'm just out. I have them all with magnets. You see what I'm saying? I have them all with a specific magnet. I might draw a sigil that represents what they represent to me on the magnet. So if I'm going somewhere and I can just randomly want to tap into, you know what I'm saying, Darth Vader and turn that, if I get mad, turn that anger into strength and to power. You see what I'm saying? Because I have magnetic necklaces, chains, bracelets on, and I can tap into them remotely and I automatically just feel like the Sith Lord that he represents, that he is. You see what I'm saying? So that's just one of the, you know what I'm saying, one of the many ways that I tap into these different energies and these different archetypes and just embody them. I mean, like literally doing ritual work with Thanos. You see what I'm saying? Putting the mask on and just embodying all that he represents for me. You see what I'm saying? I might hit one of his, you know what I'm saying, one of his strengths. He's determined. You see what I'm saying? You just see the movie Infinity War. Look how determined he was into collecting those Infinity Stones. So I apply that to me. Determined to find new creative ways to express this chaos energy that we all talk about, that we all embody. He's determined about it. So I'm determined to, you know what I'm saying, I have the same determination that he does in collecting the Infinity Stones and apply that to my practical everyday lifestyle, my methodology, and, you know what I'm saying, using that determination to fuel my alchemy, to fuel my creativity, to come up with new expressive ways for me to keep pushing the envelope and expressing this chaos energy that we talk about by putting on the deific mask, literally, of Thanos. Now, if I use the deific mask of Cthulhu, you see what I'm saying? He represents, you know what I'm saying, straight up madness. So if I'm putting him on and I embody that energy, I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm literally creating chaos in my environment. You know what I'm saying? I want to just, you know what I'm saying, see it, look at it for like psychological experimentation, see how impactful I am when I invoke that energy or I embody that energy. And he represents, you know what I'm saying, madness, chaos, you know what I'm saying, pandemonium. But also one of the things that I noticed when I, embody the deific mask of Cthulhu is that everybody around me and within my environment is obedient to me. You see what I'm saying? They just almost not I don't want to say worship, but I'm talking about they just do shit for me. If I'm thinking, I'm like, motherfucker, say good morning to me. I ain't gonna say nothing. They, good morning, how you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? You all right? You need me to do this? You need me to get that? You need me to contact this person? That's the type of energy that I get when I, you know what I'm saying, when I put on that deific mask of Cthulhu. If I go to the store, everybody just, it's almost as if everybody, almost like they worshiping me, like how they would worship Cthulhu. You see what I'm saying? How people just worship, you know what I'm saying, put him on the altar and they just praying up to him and shit like that as the great old one that he represents, because that's what I represent. You see what I'm saying? And that's just one of the many ways that I tap into this shit, man. And it's fun. I'm telling you, pushing the envelope with your creativity, and what it sounds insane, but once you like do it and you get the results from this shit, man, that you know what I'm saying, confirm yourself when you literally putting on the deific mask of one of these different, you know what I'm saying, entities or whatever. Can't nobody take that self-experience from you, man. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. You see what I'm saying? But it's just, there's no limit to the way that you can apply this. You see what I'm saying? But I want to stress the importance of trusting the results of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Trusting your ability to be able to tap into your subconscious mind and bring forth the power that's in there. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta do the work. You gotta do the shadow work and go down there to, you know, to have the self-confidence to be able to handle this shit. And it's real simple, man, once you try this shit. But like I say, there's no envelope. I mean, there's no envelope that I'm not pushing on this shit to the fullest maximum potential of this shit, man. So it's fun. That's why I love this topic.
True. Now, very interesting you say this, because I'm sharing an experience, right?
Okay.
One of the rituals we had, and by the way, I don't know if I think it's you because you're the only one unmuted, but we can hear a lot of noise in the background. Is there any way?
Yeah, that's my, yeah, hold on, let me tell them that. Hold on. That's okay, babe. Just a little bit. Still loud.
All right, so like I was saying, we did a ritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Months back here in Florida, and ritual, there was an aspect of the ritual where Baphomet was invoked, okay? And I just happened to be playing the part of Baphomet. What's interesting about that is that we actually had the mask of Baphomet. Now, I would suggest to people, as Brother Rogue Titan is sharing with y'all, is if you feel, and sometimes I would say it's even more, it's beneficial to actually get the mask, like he has the mask of Thanos, get the mask of Baphomet or whatever mask you feel. Get that deific mask and actually wear it in the ritual. And the reason I say that is because you will feel the actual shift in consciousness. You will feel the actual energy embodied within you. And you will look out from the mask and feel as if you are actually that which you're representing through the mask.
That up.
Do this in your rituals if you want some benefit, extreme benefit, because the problem is what people, I think, still have a misconception is not so much everybody here, but you know, some of the questions we may get overall is that people still have a habit of worshiping the archetypes, gods, goddesses, whatever the case may be, instead of becoming them. It's a fine line between one or the other. Like I discussed on Friday evening, there's a fine line between crossing between becoming and worshiping. And it happens gradually where you start to actually worship and don't even catch yourself worshiping. If you still find yourself saying Kali spoke to me, you still are in a fine line between worship and not. Really what's happening when you say Kali speaking to you, it's not Kali speaking to you, it's your true or higher self speaking to you in the voice of Kali, because that's what you need to hear or to understand or to open up to receive the knowledge and wisdom necessary, but your true self, your demonic self, is using that representation or archetype to connect to you. Because that's the only way sometimes we open ourselves up to accept this, if we honestly believe that Kali's speaking to you. It's not happening. What is happening, like I said, is your true self has used that representation, because you know some of us are stubborn, hard-headed, and everything else. It uses that representation to get through to the subconscious mind. Once that subconscious mind's open, then the ability to embody that energy, the ability to represent what Kali would be, is easily or more easily digested, absorbed, and understood. But you gotta start, seeing the difference. I'll give you an example. Some of y'all, when you were young, would look in the mirror and sing like you were your favorite singer or your favorite rapper or whatever the case may be. I even did this. You even visualize this so much to the point that you actually saw the crowd cheering you on, everything else. That is a form of deific mass ritual where you actually start to take on and embody that energy and that frequency and vibration of that which you're trying to represent. Same thing in your rituals. So understand, it's a fine line. Don't cross that line too often, because you can get lost back into worship. And I've seen it happen for years now, where people cross and never come back because they got lost back into spook worship. You are that deific mass. You got to remember, you are that which is represented in what you're trying to achieve in your work. So if it's Shango, let's say, then you represent that divine masculine warrior energy. The drum energy or the drum vibration connects with you. You represent all of that. But if you then continue with that work and then you start groveling and sending fruits and all kinds of stuff to Shango, now you're back to spook worship, and then you're losing the power of you as being the god, and you place some external thing back over you. So when Rogue Titan is sharing and I'm listening, I'm watching the different action figures, I see how he's using a representation, and then he's explaining, okay, this is what I use when I need, let's say, to communicate from my throat chakra. I look and I do some work with the Muhammad Ali action figure, and he starts to embody that representation. It allows his throat chakra to speak smoother, clearer, to be able to communicate with authority. And as Brother Demetrius said here, it's almost like a psychic warfare. Muhammad Ali was really like deadly with getting into your head and defeating you before the match was even fought. He was literally in your head before the match was fought. And that's how he defeated so many people before the match even began, because he got into their psychological, he got into their psyche through psychological warfare. Boxers are famous for trying to do that to this day, but no one was as effective as him. I mean, let's just be real. We've seen it. That man was nasty as nasty can be with psychological warfare. So that's an example. So when he shares and I look at all those action figures, I can see the different paths that he's working for whatever different aspect of his life is most necessary for that moment. That's the same thing we got to look at when we're walking on the left-hand path. You're not ever to forget that you are the God. But quite often we hear, okay, yeah, but Kali, or yeah, but this or that, and oh yeah, I work with Lilith, and Lilith is so powerful. No, Lilith is not powerful in the sense of her being real. Lilith is powerful because you're powerful. And if you're powerful, then you embody what that represents. You make it even more powerful, more profound. This is why. It's not that Lilith is talking to you. Your true self, your demonic self is speaking to you in the voice of Lilith for you to accept it. For you to accept that you have this ability to be this. So, all right, Rogue Tide, let me ask you another question.
Please do.
So if you wanted to, let's say, you're doing some work where you're trying to achieve a greater sense of finances, which deific mask would you use? How would you use it? And what are the various ways that creatively you feel flow through you to do that?
Well, when it comes to that, like finances, I'm looking right at him, man. It's so funny. I'm looking at the genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, Iron Man. Before you said that, that's what I was looking at. That's what I was going to talk about, and you brought up finances and shit. So that's just very simple. I'll become Iron Man. I think when, you know what I'm saying, whenever you become Tony Stark, we all know that he's very innovative and very creative when it comes to ways of creating things that's going to bring in money. It's going to bring in prosperity and abundance and excess. So when I, you know what I'm saying, invoke the deific mask or put on the deific mask of Tony Stark, I become him, and I'm just getting flooded with ideas and ways for me to, you know what I'm saying, tap into them, or new ways for me to, you know what I'm saying, bring about more abundance, more prosperity, more wealth. It's all kind of different ideas that have come my way. And it's up to me, the magician, to be able to channel that and focus that and how I'm going to apply that practically, you know what I'm saying, make it real for me within my reality. You know what I'm saying? It's basically taking chaos and putting it to the order in my existence, using my will and my desire to do so and determination. That's one of the you know what I'm saying, deific mask that I put on is, you know what I'm saying, Tony Stark, and just and trusting the process of, you know what I'm saying, letting the creativity flow from that energy that he represents, and knowing how to, you know what I'm saying, how to utilize it, you know what I'm saying, and do it and act on it. You know what I'm saying? Trust whatever comes your way. You might want to write it down in the journal, you know what I'm saying? But that's one of the ways that I tap into the, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to abundance. Now I could use Bruce Wayne for that. You know what I'm saying? He's, you know what I'm saying? But more so, I'm gonna probably the deific mask specifically for me that represents that and excess as far as abundance and prosperity will be Tony Stark. I mean, he's so flamboyant with it. You see what I'm saying? Coming up with, you know what I'm saying, creating new weapons and things like that, coming up with creating new, you know what I'm saying, all kind of new gadgets and gizmos as far as the technological advancements that he has, and just using that to bring in more, you know what I'm saying, make himself more famous, but it's more prosperity, more wealth, more fame, more fortune. You see what I'm saying? Because he's known within the comic book, you know what I'm saying, universe as having more money than Batman. You see what I'm saying? So most definitely, man, Tony Stark would be I would highly recommend somebody tapping into the deific mask of Tony Stark and just rocking with it and trusting it, and trusting your ability to be able to turn that chaotic energy, all that creativity that's coming your way, but put it into order for you. How you going to apply that to you, your specific personality, your lifestyle, your methodology that you're working with, make it tailor-made for you, and trust it and act on it. You see what I'm saying? And push the envelope with the shit.
True. So what are some other ways you feel that an individual can embody the deific mask?
Simple. Like other ways, like, you know what I'm saying, you see another way. I can do a meditation on them. You know what I'm saying? You can, like, a lot of times what I do, like, you know what I'm saying, I might look in the mirror and I might count, like I use the number 13 to count down, you know what I'm saying, count down from 13 all the way to 0. And as I'm counting down, I'm watching my body, I'm watching my physical form transform into whatever deific mask that I'm putting on. Like literally, I'll shapeshift into it, to that, you know what I'm saying, that embodiment. So like say with Cthulhu, I've done this literally with Cthulhu and working with the Necronomicon. And I'll put the mask on, you see what I'm saying? And I'll look in the mirror, turn the lights off, you know what I mean? And I will, you know what I'm saying? But I'm using my creativity in my mind to make it illuminated within the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? But as I'm counting down from 13 to 0, it's getting darker and darker. And my physical form, my human form is turning into a gelatinous form with tentacles and shit of Cthulhu. And when I get to 0, I'm no longer the rogue titan. I'm literally Cthulhu. I feel what it feels like to be gelatinous. I feel what it feels like to be just big, giant ass, monstrous ass entity. And I might use that to communicate with Azathoth, Nyarlathotep, Dagon, Yig, or all of them would just appear before me. You see what I'm saying? And I use that as a way to, you know what I'm saying, tap into, you know what I'm saying, more chaos energy. You know what I mean? I bring that into my existence, you know what I'm saying, my human corporeal existence. You know what I mean? So to me, for mirror magic will be a way to, you know what I'm saying, tap into the deific mask. You see what I'm saying? You brought up literally like me buying a mask or whatever, but if you don't have access to things like that, look in the mirror, use your creativity and your visualization skills with your mind, and trust in what you know what I'm saying, the images that you are creating when you're looking at yourself. I highly recommend you don't stare, but gaze at yourself in the mirror. And you can use whatever, you know what I'm saying, methodology you want to use to count down from 13 to 0, whatever means something to you, but whatever's going to get you into that mode, because the whole idea is to become this entity, the deific master, what it represents. You see what I'm saying? Not worshiping it, but literally becoming what it is that you want to embody. You see what I'm saying? And do it. Trust in your ability that you can do to have the confidence and the willpower and belief that that's what you're going to accomplish, and you will accomplish it. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Feel what it feel like to, like, literally, man. I'm feeling my tentacles and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like I'm in two worlds at once. I'm feeling like I'm in a, you know what I'm saying, like a physical form, but also in like a transparent form. You know what I'm saying? That's what he represents, being in like two different realms at the same time. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very fluidic feeling, but also a very like just slimy type of feeling. But I mean, I feel so big when I put on the deific mask. It could do like just gigantic and monstrous. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But trust in that, and like you said, trust in it and believe what you're doing. Like you're literally turning into this. That's literally who you are. You see what I'm saying? But that's just one of the creative way that you can just unlock your subconscious mind to be able to do whatever it is you imagine yourself doing, and it's real for you. So
exactly. Because I was just about to say that if you really want to do this, if you really want to work with the deific mask, you literally, that old saying, you have to walk in whatever archetype shoes or whatever comic book hero or whatever mythos you want to choose. You literally have to walk in that representation or that archetype form. You got to literally do it. So for some people, they go so far as getting the whole two-edged sword of Kali. They'll get the actual a skirt made with the hands on there. You understand? With the arms on there. They'll actually go that far. If that's what you need to do, never hesitate on going that far. Because sometimes when you really want to play the role, you will go as far as you want to. For example, when an actor or actress is trying to convey a role on a movie, they sometimes will go and sit with the actual, let's say if it's a lawyer they're trying to, represent in a movie, they'll actually go sit with lawyers and study under lawyers in different environments to actually embody what it means to be a lawyer. So they'll actually go and study this whole thing. When you are trying to be, let's say, Lucifer, you should understand every attribute, every characteristic, and every power that is associated with Lucifer, the son of the morning star. Why is that symbolic? Because it represents the rebirth from the dead state, from the 6 to the 9, actually transforming or elevating. 6 is actually not what people think as evil. 6 is actually a point of germination. It's actually a point of either propelling higher for completion or staying stagnant or falling down back to the lower levels. So you should actually understand every symbolism of what it means to rise up as a sun in the morning from the pure darkness state, or from the prince of darkness, which represents the dead state. You should then understand what it means to have mastery over the darkness as the prince of darkness. You must become a prince of your own darkness, a master of your own darkness. You got to understand every little intricacy that is associated with something like Lucifer or Lilith or something like Hecate or something like, Ra, or whatever archetype you float, you feel good with. You got to go like in depth into understanding every little intricacy about them. It's not enough to just say, okay, I know a little bit about it, so let me work with it. It's fine. You'll get some results, but if you really want to embody it, you have to basically eat, sleep, shit, breathe, everything about that archetype in your everyday life. Do this for a little while before you actually work a ritual of the deific mask. Try to walk it as if you're that archetype and digest it as if you're that archetype. Then you become that archetype. Like Demetrius says, Denzel has that happen to him when he played Malcolm X. He started channeling Old Boy, and you can actually see him because his voice, Denzel's voice, if you know how Denzel's voice really sounds, he started sounding more like Malcolm X in the movie because he put so much energy and frequency and hard dedication and concentration into actually channeling and becoming Malcolm X. This is what's necessary when you work a deific mask. It's not enough to just say, I want to work with Oya today. Sounds nice. That's lovely. Great. You want to work with something. Great. But what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to really embody Oya? Are you just going to read about it? Or are you going to actually try to apply this in action, in everyday action throughout your walk, throughout your path? This is what will lead you to a level of transformation. But we stop short a lot of times and just say, okay, I want to work with this. And that's when you go into the problem. You get into a problem where you don't digest it and fully absorb it enough. When you get into a problem in that situation, when you start to go back to worship, because you didn't go far enough to get in-depthly enough to really embody that. You just stood or went to a surface layer and then you felt, okay, I know enough. Let me work this. That's when the problems start to occur. All right, let's see. Mario says it's even better that you utilize your own self-created entity, embodying that energy, putting on that deific mask. The attributes that you place within this self-created deific mask, you become it. Yeah, 100% correct. I have a deific mask that I've created. Some of y'all know is Darth Ravana, and I actually live this shit to the fullest. I'm Darth Ravana. Some people will joke around and call me that. I just say, yeah, true, because I actually live this. I actually, every day of my life, I'm walking life as a Sith. That's how I embody the energy, and that's how I operate every day. In public, you would never know that I'm on this left-hand path or any of this. You would just say, oh, that's a New York City kid. That look like a Bronx nigga. That looks like a hip-hopper. That looks like this is that. You would never know because I rarely ever wear anything associated with the occult. Sometimes I'll have some occult shirts on. You understand? But rarely do you see that on my outer being when I'm walking because it's already in here and in here. I don't need to have it and wear it on my chest like people do. So that's fine. But see, sometimes when people wear it on their chest, they still really ain't invested in this. They're dressing the part, but they're not living the part. Okay, that's almost like when we were in the conscious community, people dressed the part nicely. They had the frankincense, you know what I'm saying? They had the Egyptian musk on, they had the dashikis on, they had all this on, but their life was straight chaotic because they didn't know how to channel and work that energy. You can't half-ass this. You either fully invested or you're not. And being invested doesn't mean you wear the outer appearances of what it means to be a cultist or, you know, on the left-hand path, and I'm going to have a Baphomet medallion the size of Flavor Flav's chain. That's ridiculous. You understand me? That's when you go into the extreme. So I embody that in my actions, in my thoughts. You understand? Not so much in appearance. So we got to understand how we embody it by essentially, okay, if you work with archetypes, fine, but what is the model we've always had on this channel is you become the god, so you have to create your own gods. And what's the greatest god you can create? Yourself.
That's right.
Period. You create yourself. Y'all have the powers and ability. I'll give you an example. Some of y'all I've seen in my dreams. I don't know how the hell you peoples got in there, but some of y'all I've seen in my dreams. All right? And y'all were just sitting there looking at me. And I'm like, okay. That's all they did was just come and look at me and check on me. Okay? So then if you are able to jump into my dream, what the hell else can you do? You could do anything you put your mind to. You have the power to do anything you want to. You may not realize that, but if you wake up in the morning and say, yo, Ravana was in my dream, well, it could have been the other way around. You were in my dream. You just remembered it as me being in your dream. But if you had the ability to jump into or bring me into your dream or you came into mine, you can accomplish anything in this physical form. Don't limit yourself to just, oh, that's a dream. Bullshit. The dream, many of your dreams happen in the astral plane. That's your subjective world that can affect and create your objective world, your physical world. So you can do this. And if you visited myself in a dream, you've got the power. Okay? Can't say what y'all were doing in the dream, though. That's X-rated. Let me stop. Anyways, so, all right. Titan. Let me just say.
Yes, sir.
Titan. So, now you've discussed several ways to embody or work with the deific mass. Can you give the listeners any other ideas on what really the deific mass represents to you and different creative ways to embody it in their everyday life?
Simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. That would be who I want to talk about. Like Dr. Doom. This is my nigga right here. One of the ways that I embody him, the deific mask of him, is a lot of people don't know that he represents willpower. For me, he has one of the strongest willpowers known throughout Marvel comics and throughout the history of just comic books in general. You see what I'm saying? If he was in DC, he'd have a Green Lantern ring because his willpower is so strong. So like when I embody him, I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I'm tapping straight into my willpower. My willpower is amplified 100-fold when I, you know what I'm saying, put on the deific mask of Dr. Doom. So it's like every day, like, you know what I'm saying, we all go to work. We all got things that we need to do throughout the day to get things done and accomplish certain tasks and things like that. So what I would recommend anybody do, one of the creative ways, you got 7 days during the week. A lot of us work 5 days. We off, you know what I'm saying, on the weekends, 2 days or whatever. Come up with some, set a goal. Like tomorrow is Monday. You know what I'm saying? Monday is going to be busy. Everybody got to hustle and bustle. And most people, 9 out of 10, is dreading going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be like that. You don't want to feel drained and things like that. So for me, one of the, you know what I'm saying, deific masks that I put on Mondays is somebody that's going to be upbeat. So it's somebody that's going to be lively and like fun and to be around. And that would be Peter Parker, Spider-Man. I would literally be Spider-Man. You see what I'm saying? Not only just had a childlike mindset to being like everybody love being around him. He kind of annoying, but he's a wisecrack. But it's on Monday. Most people go, oh, on Monday they like this, but when they around me, they gonna feel my joy, my happiness, or whatever, and they gonna be better off being around me. And you know what I'm saying, being better off going forward. Like, you know what I'm saying, you brought up my spirits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the deific masks that I put on. But also one of the things that I tap into, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to Peter Parker, just versatility. You know what I'm saying? He's very agile, but I use the versatility in being able to, you know what I'm saying, converse with different topics, the versatility, the topics of discussion that I want to talk about with different people. You see what I'm saying? That's how I take his versatility and being agile and things of that nature, but applying that to ways for me to, you know what I'm saying, have more communication with different groups of people, white people, black people, political, conservative, Republican, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's more ways for me to be creative like that. So like every day during the week, man, Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, set a goal, what you want to accomplish, you know what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying, who you want to become. You know, it could be anybody, but like have a goal and have a, you know what I'm saying, a process of how you want to apply it and do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, you know what I'm saying, Optimus Prime. Put on the deific mask of Optimus Prime, and one thing that he's known, what he represents for me, is leadership and authority. You see what I'm saying? Because he has some of the best quotes when it comes to leadership and rallying the troops and shit like that throughout mythology, period. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm at work and shit like that, and I need my group of people within my area to be, you know what I'm saying, to listen, to have some type of, positive influence to do whatever job they need to get done, I'll put on the deific mask of Optimus Prime. And they gonna listen to what I'm saying, because I'm an authority figure, and you know what I'm saying, they're gonna be better off from like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I got the confidence now to get this task done, but I'm gonna have some fun with doing it because I heard what the Rogue Titan had to say about that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, Optimus Prime is one that I, you know what I'm saying, to try to, you know what I'm saying, tap into or whatever. But so, like every day during the week, you know, so you can write it out, man, set a goal, set a plan for different deific masks that you want to embody and push the envelope with the shit. You see what I'm saying? Just go as far as you can with this shit and literally become this energy. I'm telling you, you're going to see the benefits from this shit. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, it's all kind of different ways. One of the other ways that I use, say, I mean, I got every action figure now, believe it or not, I have specific sigils, you see what I'm saying, that they represent or whatever. So I might pick them randomly and just go through them throughout the day, who I want to tap into, you know what I'm saying, wherever day of the week it is. And I'll, you know what I'm saying, I'll look at the sigil, see the name, and I'll automatically, you know what I'm saying, tap into the attributes of what that deific mask represents for me and become it. Instance like that. Once I look at that sigil and that boy impact my subconscious mind, boom. You know what I'm saying? I'm Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I'm Clark Kent. I'm Superman. I'm Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Al Simmons, Spawn, or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And I instantly, you know what I'm saying, tap into whatever specific attribute that I want to embody that day and become it instantly. And go do my work with them. We'll go have experiments with embodying that energy and seeing the results from it. You see what I'm saying? I might, like, for example, all of a sudden, I might tap into Spawn, Al Simmons, and I become him, and somebody at work will just bring up Todd McFarlane and the new Spawn movie that they talking about. Just confirmation that somebody's picking up on that energy that I'm representing, that I'm embodying, and picking up through the environment, through the thought forms that I'm sending out. You see what I'm saying? And it happens a lot like that, man. It'd be just funny little confirmation that you prove to yourself that you actually doing this shit. You can't explain this shit to some mundane person, a neophyte. You know what I'm saying? They won't understand it, but I'm telling you, once you get them self-confirmations and them results that you prove for yourself as the scientist, man, I'm telling you.
Speaking of being that scientist, I forgot. This just triggered in my mind as you were speaking. Brother Mario sent me something this week, right? Brother Mario sent me a link to individuals that actually will create you as an action figure, as a statue, and have you looking any way you recommend, or any way you ask the individual to create your look will be done. So if you're interested, I know this sounds like a little weird for some people, but if you really want to learn how to embody this deific mass and be the God over yourself, why don't you create or have someone create a statue of yourself representing yourself as you see yourself in your mind's eye, how you actually see yourself. Why don't you have your own statue created? Why don't you have them put on a certain outfit that you want on that? I know it's kind of weird, but yeah, you look at yourself enough every day, you're going to start saying, yo, I am, and I have always been that God to create my life, or that goddess to create my life. So why not do that? Because listen, what we always commonly hear, and Rogue Titan is good at shifting the attention back to this, so is Mario's. I commonly hear quite often, this God, this deity, this, that. That's all good. But I rarely hear of Ravana, Rogue Titan. How can I be a God? It's always, how do I work with this? Or how do I work with that? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that? It's always that instead of, how can I be the God? How am I that God? You understand? So how do you actually take yourself from working with an archetype to being that archetype? You understand? One of the first things you should do is write down your characteristics. What is your positives and negatives? I'll tell you why you're writing both, because honestly, your negatives are more important than you think. And the reason why is because if you do some alchemy, left-hand path alchemy, you're going to look at your negatives and you're going to say, how can I turn every one of these negatives into a strength? How can I turn every one of them to a strength? Because every one of us have negatives, but the trick is, how do you turn it into a strength to work on your behalf? How do you twist it and alter it enough where it becomes beneficial, not something detrimental to you? Become the God. You are able to create your own image and be that, and you look at it every day, you'll see a shift in consciousness on a whole nother level. A shift in consciousness that'll start as a seed and grow and elevate. So there's various ways when you work this deific mass. In particular, the greatest way is to become the God over self. You understand? To be that God over self means to actually love yourself enough to put yourself in an image as a God. To look at yourself as something more than just a regular person. because we've all been brainwashed with, oh, we're all human. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes. Really? I didn't say you can't make mistakes, but what I said is you should be trying to work on becoming greater every day and challenge yourself to be greater every day. So why limit ourselves to these opinions and these limitations? Because the only limitations that really exist in this universe are the ones you place on your mind. That's it. So we're going to do this. We're going to go around the room and start taking questions. All right? We're going to start taking questions to see who has questions. So let's begin.
Man. Bro, I see everybody brought up Palpatine. I don't know where the hell my Palpatine action figure. I got him. I don't know where the hell he went.
KG, hold on. Let me see. KG, I think I can't get you connected. Maybe you're having difficulties. You might need to reconnect. Okay, there it is. Okay, I can hear you now. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good, good. KG, do you have any questions for Rogue Titan or myself?
Oh, Well, I like that you just brought up making the figurine because a couple weeks ago I was thinking of I like a couple artists and I was thinking of having them kind of tying into what you said a couple weeks ago with trying to visualize yourself as that talking about that pyrrhic self. I was thinking of getting some artists and having them draw me as that, or
Go for it.
especially around Halloween time. Like I really like the Medusa. I was gonna take my locks, do the whole Medusa thing, and take pictures and find ways to visualize myself as whatever entity I want to work with.
Perfect. And now's the perfect time to start since we're what are we? 7 months away from Halloween, Samhain. So now's the perfect time to start because 7 months, next thing we know, we're going to be in October. These times, the time is literally seems like it's moving at a faster speed than ever before. So that's a perfect thing. If you can find an artist to draw you or depict you as a vampire goddess or as whatever else or other image you see yourself in, go for it and send me their information so they can draw me too. All right.
Cool.
Any other questions, KG?
I don't know. There's a lot to think about. I loved all the information that I just got, so I'm just enjoying the conversation. Thank you.
No problem. Hopefully we have enough time. I'll swing back around and check one more time, okay? All right. My good brother, Necro Cannon, you're next. Hold on. Okay, now, go ahead.
Greetings, all. I don't have any questions per se in regards to it. The only thing that I would just like to add is just, in a sense, it's invoking that deity because you're taking that energy in and then you're becoming that God in which you consume them and then you replace that energy with your own. Thus, you create your own deities, such as like myself. I have my own mask that I literally carry around with me. So that way, hold on, I'm sorry. So that way, when I'm becoming the deity that I created, which is the Great Devourer, I embody this because, as we know, this encompasses everything in which life is. So I'm drawing forth all forms of creation and life into me so that way I can manifest what it is that I need. So versus just, saying, oh, well, I want this little bit or this little bit. No, all of creation is flowing through me and to me because I am the center point of creation from my subjective perception of reality. So from that aspect, that is where I'm not only consuming, but I'm creating the same essence with the Godhood that I created from my own mind, seeing that all is mine and every, so that's all that I have to add to that. That's dope, excellent. Excellent.
That's dope.
That was fly.
Now here's the thing, brother. I can't wear that mask down here, brother. It's too hot for that shit. You can get away with that, brother. It's chilly up there. You good. Here, I'm in Texas. But that's dope, though. I like that concept. Appreciate it, bro.
That's funny you say that, man. I was just looking at this damn sigil I got that just talk about him being the center point of existence.
Yep.
And all my action figures I got sitting on this specific sigil of like Azathoth for being like chaos, and I got like my own little shit on the back of it, my own little mantra I say, whatever. So I mean, it's damn near word for word what he just said about embodying that energy and using that creativity of it, man. It's because this is a form of vampirism. I didn't say that before, but yeah, that's, you know what I'm saying. That's just another aspect of vampire magic, man. And that was what he just said was dead on. What the hell? I was just looking at this shit, man. So it's like, wow.
True, and remember that the very essence of vampire magic is the deific mask. Yeah. The vampire representation, the mythos, the mythology that surrounds vampires around this whole planet, that is embodying basically that mythos within yourself. The vampire mythos is one of the most ancient, one of the most feared, but yet one of the most glorified and one of the most powerful ones in existence. So when you actually work vampire magic, you actually are embodying the deific mask of what it is to be a vampire. Whatever vampire you want to connect to, whether it's Nosferatu or Blade or whatever. I work with Blade on that a lot, okay? That's one of my go-to deific masks is Blade. When I want to get the job done, yeah, I see. When I want to get the job done, I work with Blade. Blade is ferocious, to the point, and doesn't cut corners.
Yeah.
Every time my brother Phil's on here, that dude be hooking up some serious, like a cuisine, man. He's got like a gourmet dinner he hooking up over there. I just start getting hungry. Like, yo, son, you just set up, man.
That stay easy, dog.
Let me go to Misty Moon.
Misty Moon.
Misty, how are you this evening?
Greetings to all my relations.
Yes.
How you doing?
Nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Very interesting conversation. I don't have a question, but I do actually. My question is, can we flip the script a little bit and bring in the matriarchal side so it doesn't feel so unbalanced? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
I'm happy she brought that up. That's great, because I can talk about that.
Go ahead, brother.
Women, females or feminine, however people want to feel themselves to be, there's not much out there for us as far as the deific mask. Of course, we know the subconscious ones, but in our everyday life, I would say that Aaliyah, when she played the role of
Akasha,
she played that role.
Yep.
And I think shortly after that, she was in the airplane crash or whatever. But that would be a deific mask, I feel, as far as the vampirism goes.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to compress this down like into a zip file, because there were so many thoughts coming while you guys were talking, But as I'm looking at Rogue Titan's army behind him, it made me think of my autistic grandson. He draws, and he draws everything in miniature. So he has like thousands of little figures, and they're all aspects of himself. Just like Rogue Titan's army behind him are aspects of himself. True. Or masks of himself, even though they're miniatures. Like the terracotta army that was found, it was unearthed in Japan or China or somewhere. Yep. There's like 300 of those little tiny terracotta warriors. And so for women, there aren't many, maybe in that movie Avatar, right. The female warrior, that's a good deific mask for women. Harriet Tubman is another good deific mask, because when I feel like any type of threatening situation, I always hear that quote supposedly from her. When you see the lights in the woods and they're coming for you, keep running. When you hear the voice coming for you, calling you, keep running. When you hear the dogs barking, keep running. And it pulls up a certain strength within on the female side, what it is to run through the woods and have your tracking device, your internal antenna, your antennas up. You know what I mean? When you're running for freedom, like we're doing still today.
Right.
Shirley Chisholm, some of you may not be old enough to really understand Shirley Chisholm. She ran for president back in the late 60s, early 70s. You know what I mean? She's like a deific mask for me.
True.
Wilma Mankiller. She was a chief of the Cherokee people down south. You know, so there are female people that we can take their, we can zoom into their spirit and get some kind of relief for the pressures that are going on and wear them as deific masks. And also, I want to say to any females or women that might tune into this video, that it's good also to keep little dolls. Like men have the action figures. We might want to keep little dolls around ourselves because, so no shade to the lesbians and the studs, and I love all my LGBT people, but we don't want to get so hard and bitter when things happen to us. So I always, I still keep a doll. I don't know if you can see, to keep that tenderness inside. You know what I'm saying? And that helps us to not let the world make us mean and bitter and obstinate and stubborn and cruel and take us outside of who we really are as women, to receive that warrior when he come home.
True.
But so there's masks that for women out there, but we have to look for them and be diligent, as Rogue Titan was saying, and stay focused, and we can win this war.
True.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No doubt. Appreciate that, Misty.
All right, let me say this. Eartha Kitt. Somebody just said Eartha Kitt, especially when she played Catwoman.
Absolutely.
I can still hear her purr to this day. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Storm as X-Men. Storm as Halle Berry when she played that, and then there's in the Dark Phoenix.
Yes.
Coming out soon. The new X-Men. There's a new Storm in that one too. She's in there. Don't forget the incomparable, unbelievable, strongly talented Nina Simone. I still listen to her every day.
Okay.
Don't forget these powerful goddesses. For those who are from Latin America, South America, don't forget Celia Cruz. Don't forget, there's a lot. But not to mention, there is a lot of actual female archetype, so to speak, especially in comic books. But of course, we know this is a male-dominated society, so people don't talk about it a lot.
Right.
But Captain Marvel, of course, is one of them. Then you have a lot of people don't know that Wonder Woman had a sister who was called Nubia, a black Wonder Woman. She was called Nubia, and they're actually talking about making that a movie very soon. There's a lot of new comics that have come out that actually have a strong female role. For example, Van Helsing, which is actually a television series on Sci-Fi, they have two strong female roles in that. There is a lot more. Unfortunately, there's not enough melanated women portrayed, but there is more about to come out. There's a slew of comic books with a lot of black women, Latina women starring a show in there. They just don't promote it. It's our job to promote that because they're not going to do it for us. We got to promote that and teach and share with people that there is, these different archetypes outside of just mythology or religion or things of that nature.
Right.
There's a lot of strong, beautiful black women Angela Davis, if you want to whip some ass and stuff like that, you could also roll with Angela Davis and bring that energy in there. Okay. So there's a lot of different female archetypes. It's just that people don't big them up enough because, this is still a male-dominated society. And we got to wake up to the fact that we got to bring the balance, because if we don't talk about it, and I'm happy Misty brings that up, if we don't talk about it, we're not doing due justice to bringing about that integration between the masculine and feminine. We're always going to be at odds and at war with each other because we ain't doing the due justice. So there's plenty. There's a new comic book came out called Monstrous. There's this new comic book called Monstrous. And in there, it's a female character who actually destroys and devours the hell out of people when she gets angry. So she reminds me of an Oya character. She reminds me of just straight raw blood, just destructive energy if you piss her off. Okay, so there's stuff out there, and we do. You know what, Rogue Tide?
Yep.
We need to get Cosmic Serpent to come up here when she's back.
Most definitely.
We should do one on just a show on female archetypes and let her flow. Let the sisters bring up. But y'all got to do the homework now. Y'all got to bring up all the female archetypes we can find, all of them, y'all, and bring it to the front and discuss it and talk about the power of the female archetype, the demonic female archetype. Talk about that in detail, because I'm sure a lot of people have not heard half of the people we just mentioned. Mario's mentioned Witchblade, Raven, Vampirella, and even Oya has a comic book character now, Queen of Blaze from StarCraft. You understand? There's a lot. There's a lot out there, but we got to start bringing it out. There's actually this, what is it? There's this new superhero comic female called La Boriqueña, which is actually half black, half Puerto Rican female who's actually representing as a new superhero. So there's a lot of comic books and other kinds of archetypes, but we got to do the homework, bring it all out. So I'm going to talk to Cosmic Serpent about that, and y'all sisters do the homework and school us on this stuff so we can shut up and listen to y'all for 2 classes and break down every female archetype there is. Right. So I'm going to take notes during those 2 classes. All right? Anything else, Misty?
Betty Davis and Nikki Giovanni.
Yeah.
You know, I mean. But I'm just enjoying it, you know.
Cool. No t-shirts today you want to? No, stop. Moving along, Misty. Moving along. All right, Brother Phil, chef. The left-hand path chef. Hold on. Give me a second. Still. Okay, there we go. The left path chef. What's going on, brother?
All right, everything's cool. I'm glad you guys are doing this as usual.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to jump on comments and all that shit, so I'm going to just ask a question straight out.
All right.
How do you describe to oneself, in your guys' opinion, on how you're actually, everyday people are walking out with a deific mask, but they may or may not be aware of it. What is a person to do to become aware?
Good question. Rogue Titan.
One of the ways that they can become aware that you're embodying this deific mask. Am I hearing that correctly?
They are, right? You're saying that they are not aware they're embodying a deific mask. Is that what you're saying, Phil?
Yeah, correct. So, for example, somebody, you go to a concert and a motherfucker just starts. Let's say they go to a Wu concert and they just start wilding out like they're old dirty, but they may not be aware of that at the time. How do you address that? Or what is your opinion on addressing a person to use that energy without having to go to a concert and things like that?
One of the ways that I can probably tap into that would probably be sigil magic. Creating a sigil for that, whatever that, that energy that you want to embody. Say, like, old dirty bastard. When I hear him, I think it's straight chaos energy. You see what I'm saying? Straight chaos. That's what he represents to me. So if I'm understanding this correctly, if you want to, become aware of that energy, or if you want to go into an environment like that and you want to embody that chaos energy, you can create a sigil that's represented for, specifically that you create for old dirty bastard, and wear it and embody what he represents as a chaos energy and become him. Do what he'll do. say what he'll say, talk how he'll talk. You know what I'm saying? You might want to recite raps like how he'll rap. You just totally become him. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's so many different ways that you can tap into this and be creative with it. So it's like most people are not aware that the powers and abilities that we have within our subconscious mind once we bring them up. And, you know what I'm saying? We implement those, you know what I'm saying, those tactics and use them daily, man. But sigil magic, or, you know what I'm saying, creating a sigil for yourself and embodying whatever that, you know what I'm saying, that deific mask represents is one of the ways that I would recommend somebody tap into. And wearing it on you and, like, looking at it and just going straight to the subconscious mind and becoming that energy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay, going off that, now, how do you have it so that you turn it on and off? Meaning, you sometimes will see, for example, somebody could just be, I'm going to be Black Power all day, all night, and everything, and then they go into a situation where they want to have some type of change or whatever the agenda is, and then it fails miserably. It's like we're on a comic book thing. You pick a character, a specific character to handle a certain situation. So, for example, you're not going to have Wolverine go after Magneto alone and shit because Magneto just fuck him up and take shit out. Versus, I'm going to go in there as, I don't know, whoever, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go in there as Thanos and just whip his ass or whatever. So, that kind of thing. Do you understand my question?
So, like, to be versatile?
Yes.
Like, to be versatile?
What was that character? Mystique, maybe, you know, switching up the shit.
Yeah, shapeshifting. You know what I'm saying? Her ability to be able to shapeshift. But you just brought that up. One of the deific masks that I use is Doomsday, meaning that where he adapts to any and everything that somebody's trying to do to him, he adapts to it instantaneously, and he has reactive adaptation. So whatever you're doing to him will be null and void because he's gonna adapt to it and overcome it. So that's one of the deific masks I can tap into him, just being like whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever situation that I'm in, whatever environment that I'm in, whatever's going on, I'm gonna redirect that energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let it affect me. See, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna thrive in it. And I'm just gonna, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna use that energy within that environment to make me stronger. And that's one of the abilities that Doomsday has, is being able to, you know what I'm saying, take whatever your strength is and turn it into your weakness. And it's gonna be his strength now. So if you shooting laser beams at him, how Superman do, next thing you know, he'll pick that, he'll adapt to that, and he'll do it. And it'd be way more powerful than Superman's is. You see what I'm saying? But using that psychologically and being able to be in any environment and not be or use that energy within that environment to power yourself up. You see what I'm saying? To strengthen yourself and be flexible and to be adaptable in any situation. Chaos is gonna be express itself in any situation or any circumstances that it's in. So, and being able to just be flexible and adaptable, like, you know what I'm saying, how chaos energy is, and that's what Doomsday represents for me. So that's one of the deific masks that I tap into a lot, actually, to be in any type of, no matter what environment that I'm in, I'm gonna use that shit to my, you know what I'm saying, to my advantage.
So let me go back to this. Let's say we're at a concert, right? And you just mentioned ODB, right? Old Dirty Bastard. But ODB, the deific mask that ODB represents, starts being passed around the room. Okay, other people start to tap into that power, and they start to become, in essence, an extension of ODB. Y'all been to concerts, so all of y'all know how this happens. People just literally start to embody that energy, and it just passes around the room. Like, for example, you're not like talking shit, but anyways, like, for example, I'm going to the Florida Funk Fest, right? So Erykah Badu's gonna be there. So now I can imagine on that day, I'm gonna just use this example. Erykah Badu's there, right? So you know that she's gonna embody that strong, demonic, feminine, this powerful, sensual, sexual, destructive energy. And you see it passing around a room, right? So what you do is, how you could try to do this is you could try to channel that energy back into that person, because what they're doing is they're feeling the energy and they're embodying it, but then they start to lose it because people start to get really chaotic in that moment, so the energy leaves them. One thing you could try to do is basically visualize channeling that energy back to them so that they don't lose the essence of their deific mass, and they maintain more control during that time. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a vampire like me, I'm just straight having a dinner fest there. You understand?
Yeah.
But that's how you could work
Right.
when people are, basically embodying this deific mass without realizing it. Like, it just happens by accident. So, that's just an example. When she's on stage that day, you're gonna see that actually passing around, right? Like when Juvie comes on, because Juvie's supposed to be here. Some of y'all remember Juvenile, when he those couple songs that come on, you know how it's gonna be, right? So
Back that ass up.
yeah, that ass is gonna be bouncing. Yeah, like I knew someone was
That's
gonna
right.
ask. All right. So you gotta basically know how to either take the energy or pass it back. If you see somebody about to just pass the hell out because their energy is so raised up and they basically embody that deific master, they're about to pass out, don't take more from them, because actually you're gonna destroy them to the point that you might they just gonna have basically fatigue and they're gonna faint. That's a disservice, because actually the energy you're going to get from that is going to be tainted. So what you would do is help them channel it back in so they don't lose that part of themselves completely. Because I done seen people in concerts fall out.
Right.
I know some of y'all seen people literally fall out. You're like,
Right.
damn, this person was just standing next to me. They're on the ground now. You know what I'm saying? So this is the different ways that you got to understand. I think kind of Brother Phil was kind of alluding to that too. What happens when people are embodying that different mass and they're not even conscious that they're embodying that. How can you bring their awareness to it? It's kind of difficult to do that, because they're going to look at you, one, like we're crazy, like, yo, do you know you embodying that energy of such and such? They're going to be like, what? They're going to think it's a line, like you trying to run a line on them. You know what I'm saying? Like you run a game. So that's kind of difficult to do. So the best way is just try to channel it back to them. Hopefully they become conscious of it. You understand? But don't worry. Just for Jeremy's sake, he kind of wants to know who else is going to be there. Erica Badu, Belle Biv DeVoe, Bobby Brown, Monica, Plies, hold on, Jagged Edge, 112, Dougie Fresh, Drew Hill, Juvenile, Raheem Devon, and Genuine. Yeah, whatever. I'll be there, by the way. So if y'all want to come join me, it's April 26th and 27th. Let's get it on. Anyway, let's go to the next individual. Thank you, Phil.
Good looking, Phil.
Trina. Look at Trina sipping on. Oh my God, that's a big ass cup.
A goblet. Damn.
She got a goblet of fire. That's the goblet of fire from Harry Potter, y'all. You got some serious substances up in there. Talk to us, Trina. What's good?
Okay, so I'm listening to all of y'all, listening to the Rogue Titan teach, paying close attention, listening to you, listening to everybody's questions and comments, and reading as well. As I'm soaking this all in, this is extremely important in identifying that some things have already been taking place that I didn't know or have a label or a name for, but some things that come naturally to me.
Right.
And it helped me to identify that. In hearing about this deific mask, I had begun the process of creating a Lilith mask.
There you go.
I've reached out, I think I told you that, Ravana.
No.
I reached out to some companies to create this for me. I'm going to show you guys my girl here.
That's dope.
If you can see her.
Oh, that's sweet. Sweet.
That's a big one. How big is that one?
To create this for me, put her back on my little fireplace here.
Wow.
And to and embodying that in myself already. And that's Lilith, my girl Lilith. And that's already very active in me. And other times I'm finding out that that deific mask energy is also quite active in me, such as when I put on. I shouldn't even say put on. When I being in, I don't know what to call it, but when I visualize in my mind my wealth and the filthy rich diva that I am, and suddenly this wealth is coming to me and it's on its way to me all of a sudden, then I began to visualize who's going to teach me what to do with this wealth. How do I handle this? Will I be, I'm not going to be broke, but because somebody is going to come into my realm that's going to teach me what to do with this money.
If they're not already there, but that's another.
They're already there. Thank you, dear brother.
Yes, yes.
And not only did one come, but several showed up.
True.
They, once the energy went out, that I needed to learn how to handle that. Several showed up with many different ideas, but one hammered it home for me. One, I don't know if I should say, but how to make money off of other people's money.
Yeah.
And never spending my money. And so what I'm finding out and listening to y'all is that I've always been Wonder Woman. In my head, when I was a little girl, I used to watch a show called Isis. And in my head, I was Isis. I would put a cape on and jump off the highest point in the house.
Yeah.
And fly through the sky. And in that moment, I became Isis. So this is something I have done since I was an itty bitty girl. Good. And I have enjoyed doing so. But because you guys have helped me learn to identify it, per se, and know when it's being activated and know when this is going down. So things like this are very important in helping me to know myself. And to know when these energies are being activated, and it happens almost automatically now because it's something I've done all my life. And then people come, Brother Phil, Brother Jeff, they are my fellow brothers in Oracle, and they have been so major in my life. And again, if y'all don't know by now, men are the most magnificent support system for me. True. And always have been. It's always masculine energy. And that's what I've been known to surround myself with, but I'm doing better. I am working with Erzuli Dantor. Okay. To learn to appreciate women more and more, and to be more supportive, and to step outside my oracle circle and to learn to embrace even more women. But even in doing that, again, I did something automatically, which was to put on a deific mask. I just didn't know the names of these things or able to identify when this was taking place, but now I get it. Mm-hmm. I'm understanding it. And I think it's been a requirement for me.
That's what's up, man.
So, when you were down here in Florida during that ritual, that's another example of the deific mask. Mm-hmm. About that energy, that's another example. So, yeah, you've been working with this for a long time. Now you're just, I wouldn't say a lot of us have, but you're just putting definition to what you've been doing. Yes, that's all it is. And when you get definition, it can only empower you even more sometimes, because now you understand it and it gives you more detail behind it, so it makes it even more effective. But that's good, definitely good. Anything else? Look,
that's what's up.
You're gonna stop sipping that in front on this camera right here, woman. You're gonna stop sipping that, making me thirsty. So
it's good.
Yes, I can see you ain't stopped yet. So
nope.
Any other questions, Trina?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you guys for sharing.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. No problem. Appreciate you as well.
Okay. All right. Jaja, you good? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. soaking up the information.
Any questions, Jaja?
About the 11 points of power. Where can I find that at?
I'll email it to you. Do I have your email, Jaja?
I believe so. You should.
What's your email? Just in case I'll remember if I have it.
It's Jaja Minks at Gmail.
Let me check real quick. Because I can send it to you. If I don't have it right now, I'll send it to you. Okay, 1 second. Let me see.
I'm happy she brought that up, man. Because
Go ahead, brother.
I was about to say, I'm about to do a video on my own. Like, I added 2 laws to the 11 Luciferian laws of power. You know what I'm saying? Made it my own, added 2 more of them, you know what I'm saying, to kind of cater those laws specifically to me and my methodology and my lifestyle. So I was going to make a video about that probably later on this week, man. You know what I'm saying? The 13 Luciferian points of power from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? So
good.
I try to take laws like that, you know, add my own little herbs and spices to it and make it mine. You see what I'm saying? So
that's right, brother.
I advise anybody to, you know what I mean? So most definitely, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you in a few minutes. All right, you good?
I got another question.
Okay, go ahead.
About self-discipline. How do you discipline yourself? How can you get yourself in order as quickly as possible?
Okay. First thing is identify your weak areas that you feel you could bring more under your control. For example, let's say if it's working out. That's just an example, right? The way you discipline yourself is literally the Nike slogan. You just do it. You say, today, I'm going to go work out. Now, how do you convince yourself? It's not enough to just say it. In your room, when you wake up, you should have it posted on the door or something before you walk out the room where you see, I am going to the gym today. You understand? Then have it in your bathroom as you're getting ready. I am going to the gym today. What happens is the more you see that, it's reinforcing that you're going to go to the gym today. There's no excuse after you see it a couple times. The only excuse is us saying, oh, damn it, I don't want to go. You understand? Is us being lazy. But if you see it enough, it's going to motivate you. Like, I got to stick by this. I got to stick by my word. That's an example of how you start to become more disciplined. You identify your weak areas and you find ways to make them or reinforce them to be stronger. So you can use affirmations. You can use things like these what the hell you call these stick notes, whatever you call it, where
Sticky tags.
Yeah, that
Sticky
thing.
tags.
You can utilize things like that in your working to actually push you to be more on it. Yep. If it's diet, you understand, you have to have reminders. You have to find any which way you can to stay on a discipline. Or for example, nowadays we have technology. If you have a smartphone like my phone, I'm able to set reminders. Okay, so at, let's say, 9:50, I remind myself every day to do some abs, some push-ups and sit-ups before I prepare myself for rest. You understand? So my phone goes off automatically. I could choose to ignore that, which sometimes I do, damn it. But for the most part, I'm gonna listen to it and I'm going to look at that and say, okay, let me get up and do this. So you got to find ways to set reminders for yourself so that there's not excuses popping up that we make as human beings. The more reminders you put around you, the less excuses we can make to bring about discipline. So pinpoint what it is you're trying to discipline yourself with, and then you go from there.
Most definitely, man. And you know what I'm saying? This, like one of the ways I would recommend somebody, you know what I'm saying, tapping into that discipline was to be able to put on a deific mask of somebody that, you know what I'm saying, represents for you specifically what discipline is. You see what I'm saying? Look at, like, say, for example, Batman. He don't have no superpower, but yet he's disciplined himself with his creativity and his way to make himself as powerful as possible. Daily training and doing creative measures to make himself more, you know what I'm saying, more influential, more dominant, more fearful amongst his, you know what I'm saying, the people around him. And he's known for just having that determination to always move forward, always persevere through any circumstances and any environment, always have a way out. So like, you know what I'm saying, whatever deific mask or whatever archetype you want to tap into that will represent discipline for you and determination, that's what I would, you know what I'm saying, I recommend you, you know what I'm saying, looking into it, you know what I'm saying, explore that even more. But like Ravana Newell talked about, he brought up good points of just, you know what I'm saying, finding out what your weaknesses is and just, you know what I'm saying, when your feet hit the ground, when you get out of bed, just be determined on, you know what I'm saying, accomplishing whatever goal or whatever task that you want. Just like he said, just do it. It is very simple, but I know it's, you know what I'm saying, not easy to employ, but man, just having that determination and just doing it. Just go about it, making no excuses and just, you know what I'm saying, get that shit done. And once you get the result and confirmation of this shit, man, just keep going forward with it. Just keep building that thought within your mind. You know what I'm saying? You might want to use binaural subconscious reprogramming to kind of get you in that mood of being able to just accomplish any goal and just be determined. Whatever you need to do, push the envelope with it and just know that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I recommend you do. Great question, by the way.
Jaja,
Yes.
I just sent it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, Jaja?
Yep, I do have another question.
All right, shoot.
I guess opening the heart chakra on the left-hand path. Any advice on that?
Yeah, there's several. Rogue Titan, go ahead. You can answer first.
Well, like on the left hand path, as far as the heart chakra, man, that's one of the ones I work with constantly. Just knowing, you know what I'm saying, you might want to, like one of the creative ways I do heart chakra work is one of my daughters, I got a Moana heart from the movie Moana, right? And I got it on my magnetic necklace, whatever. And when I'm doing my ritual work in front of my altar with all the lights off, I hit that damn button on there and it's going to light up green. And once it lights up green, I instantaneously go within my heart chakra and I'm faced with whatever's there that's blocking me, whatever limitations that I got. And it's known as a place of the wounded child. So a lot of times when you're doing this subconscious work and you're going within your heart chakra, you're going to see images and scenarios within your, you know what I'm saying, within the heart chakra that brings back things that you went through your childhood. And a lot of times things that, you know what I'm saying, your parents might not have went to your basketball games when you know what I'm saying, you looked in the crowd and see them. All those different circumstances are going to flood into your conscious mind. You're going to have to deal with them. You're going to have to forgive your parents. You're going to have to forgive certain individuals in your life that you kind of put them off as, you know what I'm saying, using that as blockages, you know what I'm saying, for your creativity or whatever from you moving forward. You know what I'm saying? You placed a limitation in front of you. So you're going to have to be compassionate and, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, forgive that circumstance or those individuals for you to be able to activate your chakra, for you to be able to use your heart chakra as the gateway into the higher worlds, into the higher realms that's within your subconscious mind for you to, you know what I'm saying, tap into them. So there's all kind of different ways you can use heart chakra work. And just knowing that you're going, when you do it, be pure of heart with it, because you're going to be faced with, you know what I'm saying, me specifically, like a lot of things from my childhood that I buried, that I thought I was done with, I thought I overcame them. All kind of different scenarios pop up. And you got to be vigilant in being able to face what you put there. You know what I'm saying? It may manifest in all kind of different ways to you. For me, it manifests as monsters. It manifests as different scenarios for me to, you know what I'm saying, for me to forgive myself for going through, forgive my parents for not holding any grudges, being light as a feather, so to speak, and just being clear. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to wear the color green. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Every time I look at the color green, I think about my heart chakra. And that, you know what I'm saying, that's a signal for me, you know what I'm saying, make sure that gateway is all the way open. You see what I'm saying? And I might get a physical sensation of, you know what I'm saying, confirming that for myself. I might get a little tingle or whatever, you know what I'm saying, a little tickle or whatever, but that's just confirmation for me. I'll be little tingle, you know what I'm saying, through the, you know what I'm saying, your little chest or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Little tingle.
Like little like this.
Yeah. So
yeah,
also,
man. So
to add on to what he's saying, you can also add the color pink, because pink is utilized for the heart chakra. Actually, the two colors combined are pink and green. So you here's what I normally do. Okay, you go to Spencer's or Hot Topic. They have glow sticks. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The glow sticks, right? The one you snap and then it starts glowing green. And it usually comes with a string that you can hang around your neck, which actually will sit almost to your heart area. You can sit in the dark and you can hold your hand over your chest, not your chest, your heart area, okay? and you can breathe. I breathe 9. Rogue Titan uses 13. Whatever numbers you guys like, you hold it there, and you say, while you're doing the breathing, you say, I'm opening my heart chakra. I'm opening my heart chakra. You say it 9 times. As you're doing this, don't rush it though. People will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and say like it's super fast. Take your time. Breathe between each count and hold it and say, I'm opening my heart chakra. By the time you get to whatever number you chose, you should start to feel a tingle. There you go, Rogue Titan. A tingle in your heart, your heart chakra area. You're going to feel a tingle, and you're going to start feeling a vibration that's going to start feeling like a release, like something is releasing from you. That will start the process to tap into healing your heart. Okay, you can get the color, the green glow stick, and have a pink candle burning. Okay, at the same time, you could do that. Those are just examples, but there's various ways you could do this. But really, find the best way you connect with, like your personal stamp on it. Put your personal stamp. We're giving you suggestions, but just create it the way your heart tells you to do it, and you'll get really, really deep benefits from it. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
All right. Let us know. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate the questions. Thank you very much.
All right, Lasan, you're next. What's up, brother? Any questions?
Hey, what's going on? Nah, I don't really have questions right now. I got more questions, like I guess on the shadow self and whatnot.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, so how does hypnosis fit into shadow work?
Okay. Good question. Hypnosis can be beneficial, and it also could be detrimental. And any individual who's gonna do the hypnosis will tell you that. Okay. The reason why is because depending on how deep the trauma is, it's gonna come out really fast if you do hypnosis, which could be actually counteractive. Okay. So what happens is, it's good. You can definitely use it, but make sure that the person that's going to perform the hypnosis, if you've thought about it, is actually very experienced and very qualified to do it. Don't go to a newbie who's trying to say that they can do this, and because see, that's where you're getting into problems.
Well, I'm actually a practitioner, so I've been recording myself, so I just wanted to.
Okay, well, yes, you can definitely use.
You recommend me doing that?
Yes, you could use it as. That's one of the things you can utilize working with the shadow, to tap deep into the shadow self. Shamans would actually put people under hypnotic spells. First thing they would do sometimes is give you a psychedelic, and then they would play a certain instrument or something over and over to basically send you into a trance, which is a form of hypnosis. Okay, so yes, this is something that's been utilized a lot. As you said, you have the experience, you're a practitioner, you're working on it. Yes, you could do it, but always make sure that the person is really, really, really ready to allow you to work on them. Because if they have any hesitation, it's not going to be as productive. Okay? But yeah, you definitely could use it, bro.
Cool. I have another question.
Yeah.
So if you were to burn a sigil of a shadow, or you gave it a name and you burn the sigil, does it feed it energy?
Well, okay. If you take a sigil, you mean and you use a sigil as a form of your shadow self. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like identifying it.
Yes, it can. Well, what you're doing actually when you burn the sigil, depending on the shadow self, if it's to eliminate or destroy something in your shadow self that you want to gain control over, power over, you're actually taking the power away when you're burning it. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you're actually absorbing the power of it back into you. It's almost like you're saying, Kate, I'm getting rid of you, or I'm taking back control over you. So I'm burning you from basically holding me and controlling me. And then when it burns, those ashes basically represent that energy dissipating from you. It can work in reverse, depends how you do it. Okay.
What matters is the intent, is what matters here, right?
Right. Rogue Titan, I know you're gonna add on to this, brother. Take it away.
Oh, definitely. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to like me necessarily, I don't necessarily burn my sigils or whatever, but when he talked about using like hypnosis, when I'm doing my ritual work, automatically off rip, I'm under the self-hypnosis and I'm Lucifer. And Lucifer, keeping a Luciferian mindset, maintaining my frame, and also using that with a set mindset of being the center of my universe, the center of my reality, the isolated consciousness, and everything that set represents, being able to devour of energy. So whatever comes up within my shadow when I'm doing shadow work, like for me, it manifests things for me, traumas and things of that nature manifest to me as monsters. So when I'm doing my shadow work, I might, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to destroy whatever that is. I'm going to devour it. So I got a predatory mindset when I'm going through my subconscious mind where I'm looking for shit that's there for me to overcome. You see what I'm saying? I'm finding it out. And when I get it, I'm going to overcome that shit. But like I said, I'm under the self-hypnosis of like, I'm Lucifer and I'm set and I'm just going to devour that energy. And I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, transmute it, turning it into my power, turning my pain into my power, you know what I'm saying, by devouring the energy and transmuting it for me to fuel my alchemy, for me to fuel my power, my control, my influence. So that's one of the ways that I, you know what I'm saying, when I go about my shadow work. So it's not a lot of people put fear and trepidation with it. When I'm doing my work, I'm amped up when I'm doing my shadow work. I'm looking for anything that's in my subconscious mind that's limited, you know what I'm saying, that's a limitation. I'm attacking that shit with glee, with fiendish glee, and I'm in anticipation and excitement. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm knowing I'm gonna get through it. I know I have no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna persevere through this shit because I'm the god of my reality, and I have no limits in the way I'm gonna express my energy. Right. But that's a form of self-hypnosis, going, you know what I'm saying, reprogramming my subconscious mind and knowing that I'm gonna get through this shit because I created it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing external that we create from our subconscious mind. Everything is coming from within. So knowing that you create the atmosphere and the environment within your subconscious mind, how could you fail when you realize when you the god of your reality? You see what I'm saying? So just knowing that anything within your subconscious mind that's blocking you, knowing that you can just go through that shit. You see what I'm saying? But under the form of self-hypnosis. That's I recommend self-hypnosis. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you gotta have, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be careful with it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But maintaining your frame as having the Luciferian mindset and the set mindset together, that Ravana Noon talk about, man, that to me, that's the working formula and the number one foundation for me to do any of this work. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. So I got a lot of results from that shit. So I can't not be Lucifer when I'm doing my ritual work because it works. It absolutely works. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I highly recommend that shit.
Also, to add on to that, Demetrius, I don't know if he's used it yet, but I sent it's called the I Am a Demonist ritual that I created. I don't know. I haven't heard from him yet. Have you done it yet, brother? Yes, no?
I know you sent me that Kali one.
Yeah.
I haven't done that one yet. But,
okay. But
I started doing her mantras though, and I did my first sculpture. So now
that's dope. Hold on. Let me make the screen bigger and make that close. Bring it close. Hold on. Wait, I got the wrong dude on there. Let me get rid of Rogue Titan for a second. Yo, that's dope, bro.
Yeah,
that's mad skills, man.
Yeah, so I didn't even know I could do this. So I think Kali was the one, or the energy that I embodied was the one that tapped into that part of myself, right?
Yeah, you tapped into that, bro. You worked it. Oh, look at that. That's dope.
That's sweet.
Thanks, man. So I'm thinking of now. Huh?
I see the details on that. That's dope work, bro.
That's nice.
Appreciate that. So now I'm thinking of creating some characters and adding some attributes to them. So
that's how you let it flow, bro. That's how you do it, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the platform. This is actually a shadow aspect of myself, of being of actually speaking like this. It's actually something that I'm discovering, and I just wanted to speak about it now, just to get it out the way. But
go ahead, brother.
But yeah, I've been through a lot growing up, and I heard some of your stories, Ravana, and I've also too been a victim of molestation and all that by men, you know, and so that's something I'm working through right now.
Well, if you ever need to reach out, brother, I know what it's like, bro, because I went through it. All right, you ain't alone.
Right.
I know sometimes we can feel alone, but we're not. But if anybody doesn't know, I've shared in other videos. If you haven't seen it, my life story. I've been not just molested, but sexually abused from my granddad for like 2-3 years, and then when I was older, I got same thing with my aunt. So I've repeatedly had gone through that from my early childhood years. So I know what the brother going through. It can be real detrimental and sometimes hold you back in certain things and other times make you confused and conflicted. So
That's exactly that's how I feel exactly. And then on top of that, I struggle with dyslexia as well. So
well, bro, we'll build, bro. Just don't ever think you're alone, because I can identify what you've gone through. Trust me, and what you've gone through. So yeah, I shared that because for whoever in this room and other videos have ever gone through that, don't ever feel you're alone. I could identify with y'all 100%. I could feel the pain, the sorrow, the confusion, the conflict of being molested by your own family members, because most of this stuff does not happen by strangers. Don't believe the media. 85% of the time, molestation or sexual abuse happens by someone you know. Family, a friend of the family, or something like that. We're always looking outward because that's what the media teaches you, but it's usually someone you know who had access to you before. The problem is because there's someone close, people don't hear you. They don't listen to you because they're like, no, not them. They can't do it. They're this, they're that.
Yeah, the thing is that nobody knows. It's like I kept it because I was afraid, you know.
Right.
And
yeah, let it out, bro.
So is that something that I am I gonna carry that like forever, or is that something I could like ever? Like,
I'll put it this way: you're not gonna carry it forever. You're gonna gain power over it.
Yeah.
And it's going to assist you to become even more powerful, and you're going to be able to identify in others how to help them too, because you'll be able to feel it and see it off of them.
I see that in a lot of people, and it just haunts me all the time.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. Especially in the melanated communities, Black and Latino communities, we don't talk about this a lot, y'all. It's like taboo to almost even talk about this out loud. Like, you know, you only see this in other people and other nationalities or races. Now, this happens a lot within us, but we got to get rid of this, oh, we're so divine because we're melanated crap. Because trust me, our own people do the worst treacherous shit than you could imagine. And it ain't because white people did it. It's because our own people did it to us. So understand, by him even speaking about, you just took the first biggest step of your life, bro, by even sharing that. And from there, it's gonna get better. It takes time, but it's gonna get better, bro. So like I said, reach out. I'm there for you at any time. All right.
Yep.
All right, bro.
Appreciate that, man.
Yep. Let's go to Zeta. Zeta, you there, brother? Are you there? It looked like his camera frozen. Yeah, I think it's frozen. Let me keep moving. I'll come back. La Morena del Fuego. ¿Qué pasa?
Damn.
Hold on. Let me see.
How you doing?
Can speak. Let me see if I can hear you. Can't hear you. No. Check. Make sure you're not muted on that side. No. All right. Do this. You can hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me anymore.
Damn.
If you can hear me, log off or shut down and come back in. That usually reboots it and works, okay? Shut it down and come back in.
Oh, she can't fix it, bro. Damn.
Okay, let me tell her.
All right. She just typed that in.
Yeah. All right. Try to shut down and it will fix it. Normally, if you shut out completely, close it all down, come back in, it will fix it, okay? Try that, and then I'll come back to you when you come back in. Oh, like Transformers coming through here. All right, so where we at? All right, let me go.
My nigga Vader, dog. We got Jeremy coming up.
All right, let me go to Jeremy, then come back and see. Jeremy, what's good?
So,
What's up, man? What's going on?
it's good. It's good.
Hey, man, it's all right, man. Hey, the conversation get better and better every time, man, as the whole thing move through. Hey, this is what I want to add, man. Hey, the self-deification, the deific mass, man. It's been some helpful things. Y'all shared, both of you, Road Titan, Ronald Noon. I just got this book. This mug, it's called Deity Language Manual with numerology and gods and goddesses, like how to using the self-deifying, using the energy, you know, that you come here with, you know, in your numerology, astrology, and it's pretty good. I just got it this week, but it's real simple. And I mean, it's because I like numerology a whole lot, but it's real simple. I think I put the link again. I just got it on Amazon, but it was like $8. But you know what I'm saying? It's real. Yeah, it's been real helpful. So I'm gonna get on into it, man.
Okay.
And shoot.
Let us know how it works, brother.
All right, for sure, man. I'll keep you posted, man. That's all now. But hey, it's a good conversation, man. Still steady learning a whole lot. So man, yeah, man. Peace to all y'all. Know what I'm saying on here and
peace. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
So
stay tuned.
So man.
Duma, what's up, brother?
Hey,
Duma.
can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got my Dark Revan here.
Bring it down. Oh shit. Where you get it at, brother? That's dope. I gotta get him.
Oh, I got this.
Can't find no.
Best Buy. I got this from Best Buy. Believe it or not. Yeah.
I'm there tomorrow, brother. I'm going there tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah. So, Dark Revan is all about mastery over the dark and the light side. So that's you know, what I basically concentrate on, having self mastery over self. So that's why I'm liking this conversation about exploring the deific mass, because you know, like we usually use like statues. Like I got the Kali here, and I got a set behind her, and then I got the Baphomet behind that one with my black flame. So, you know, those are the basic elements that I'm working with right now.
Okay.
That I'm working on with myself. But I'm getting a lot of good information, so it's helping. It's going to definitely help me further my work.
All right, bro. Appreciate that.
Keep doing it. Keep pushing the envelope, bro.
Thank you.
All right. And I'm going to Best Buy tomorrow, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, cause I've been looking for them for years.
All right, I'm go to Darkness Bay. Darkness Bay.
Yo.
What's good, brother?
What's happening, man? My bad. I'm sitting here watching Man of Steel.
I thought I heard that in the background.
Yeah. That's a good movie. I just watched the my favorite part of the movie. It reminds me, I guess, of where a lot of us are. Like when he first figured out he could fly.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like confused. He was in a rage. He couldn't control it. And then he stopped. He meditated, went into a mode of meditation, put his hand on that ground, and then took off. And from that point on, he was Superman. He knew all his powers. I feel like a lot of us, especially, I know that's where I am, man. Like I might get that point where I'm just putting it all together. And tonight's lecture, man, is definitely another piece. Growing up being the blackest dude on the block, I had all the nicknames, Night Rider when I was younger, Midnight, and then moved on to high school. When Spawn came out, everybody started calling me Spawn. And then in college, I played ball at South Carolina. I was defensive player, and I was pretty good at what I did. So cats started calling me Blade. So I'm just all that just tonight's lecture, tonight's talk, it just brought all that back. So I'm like, yo, I got to get to work on those two.
Yeah,
you already calling me that. I had no idea. It was cool with me, but I never really thought nothing about it. But now I'm like, yo, I need to embody them jokers for real.
Mm-hmm.
I got work to do. Just give me some more stuff to do, man. I have no excuse to be, to not be busy with the stuff that I can be doing to make this thing go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, and also that 11 powers, man. I like to receive that too.
All right, I'll send it to you.
All right, cool.
All right, bro.
But yeah, man, great lecture tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, I actually got a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel when they was giving you those nicknames growing up and like going through the college and high school and things like that?
It never bothered me, man. Like, at first, the Spawn thing, I didn't see Spawn till like a couple of years ago, but it came out like when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And my quarterback, he used to call me that. At first, it was kind of like, whatever, bro. But then after a while, it was cool. I kind of liked it. And then Blade, that was cool. But as far as growing, when I was younger, elementary school, all the little nicknames and stuff, they didn't really bother me because my parents did a good job of, instilling in me that my skin tone was beautiful and I was handsome and all that stuff. So I've never been a person that's really been bothered by what other people say about me. Every now and then some things get to me, but for the most part, man, I couldn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
True
my
that.
parents did a good job.
That's good, brother. Real good. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Demetrius. What's good, brother?
Hey, what's going on? This subject is badass. This is shape shifting at its best. The medicine men and women, the witch doctors, and all that. This is what their thing. Changing identities. That's what it's about. When you are aware of yourself as a source, you can change identities like people change drawers. So sometimes I'll do that in the course of a morning. Just shift mask, deific mask energies around people, just to see their reaction. Because I do it because I'm just having a good time, just to see how the regular folk respond to that kind of thing. Like, oh damn,
right?
Because they'll definitely respond to that when you're good and you're able to shift into that current real good. It'll flip them out. They'll be like, damn, what the hell happened? And you also, you do that when you go into interviews or you're doing business with a client and things like that. That's just that's like my secret weapon for things. I like using that. I had an experience years ago with a guy, speaking of using a deific mask, and he was like, I guess like a medicine man or something like that. I was at a gathering, and we had people in the four corners of the circle drumming. He was in the north. He had a big mother drum. Now his name was Questing Bear, and he wore a bear skin that had the head and everything on it. I wanted to get a closer look at this thing, cause I was like, damn, I saw him across the circle. It was dark, couldn't see it that well. I'm like, I want to see what this thing looks like. It was wild. So when we made our way around the circle, he was behind me on his drum. I could hear him drumming. I feel the drum behind him. And when I turned around, I couldn't see him. All I saw was a bear playing the drum, like something out of the Russian circus. He had totally absorbed himself. He was projecting that so hard that you could see it physically.
Wow.
So, question for you, Rogue Titan. Have you ever had an experience like that yourself, to where people actually see you almost as somebody else?
Yeah. Actually, who they saw me as is Cthulhu. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, especially if I like take my locks out when I have them out, and I might have on. They don't even notice. I might be wearing the sigil of Cthulhu under my shirt or something. You see what I'm saying? And I'll be walking whatever, and they might look at me and be like backing up and shit. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? You the hell you doing with your long hair? That might refer to my hair as tentacles or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You like a predator or some shit. Get your big tall ass away from me, cause I'm like 6'6", so. When I'm walking out, they see me, they might just be moving out the way, but not even knowing, you know what I'm saying, that I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm embodying, I'm putting on the deific mask of Cthulhu. You see what I'm saying? Somebody might talk about they had a nightmare about some octopus they had and they sleep or some shit and coming telling me about it, not even realizing that I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm embodying that energy like that at that moment, that day, you know what I'm saying? But they pick me out of all the people to come express what they had went through far as having a nightmarish experience. You see what I'm saying? So it's just all kind of different confirmations and things of that nature that just be popping up. It'd be funny like that, man, just to get the, you know what I'm saying? This like a aha moment sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But Cthulhu is probably the most impactful one that I had people respond to like blatantly and directly to me when I put on the deific mask of Cthulhu. It'd be funny. It's funny to see that shit. I'm telling you, they scared of it. That Necronomicon energy, man. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. You wear that shit. Animals, but men, women, and child, they just gonna respond. They gonna feel that energy, man, when you walking with that shit. I mean, a lot of times I have all the sigils on the whole pantheon, and I'm rocking with all of them. And it's gonna have an effect on your environment. I'm telling you, 100% confirmation of this shit from personal experience. I'm telling you,
I do that with,
shit is crazy.
I do that with Hecate. Because that's a mask that I have connected with that for years, and the way the image of her that I like, because I like to tap into that, activate that on a primordial level. So you ever see the last witch hunter, the witch queen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that image.
Damn, that's what's up, bro.
I like that image.
Now another one that they respond to a lot, man. If I'm going to the mall, if I'm going somewhere and I'm geared up and I might be you know what I'm saying, I'm suave or something, I put on the deific mask of Lucifer, like when I'm doing that. And the females respond, so many people respond, it's the air, that aura that you have when you know what I'm saying, when you walking with confidence and you speaking with even more confidence, when you exude, you know what I'm saying, charisma and persuasion and things of that nature, and being able to see how you impact your environment and people within it. That's another one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, I have people tell me that, you know what I'm saying, you gotta, man, I don't know, you walking through here like you own the place. You see what I'm saying? Like you got it, you just stomping through here with your little two-step or whatever, like you running everything. You know what I'm saying? I have people respond to me and tell me that when I'm embodying the deific mask of, you know what I'm saying, of Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? It could be in the mall, it could be in the barbershop, anywhere, but I'm telling you, just knowing that you're going to impact your environment, you will see the results, especially when you got the intention of seeing how the energy is going to bounce off of people that's in your environment. This is something to behold. This is testimonial to how powerful you are. You know what I'm saying?
Now, the other question is, because primarily with me, I use it a lot for sorcery when I'm doing magical work and things like that. So how has that impacted your own magical work? How has that impacted your own magical work?
Can you hear him?
Big time. Huge. I mean, it impacted mine. Like, I can't even express through words. Am I breaking up, Ravana?
No.
No, I got you.
No, but like I said, it impacted me big time. Like when I do my ritual work, when I'm going under the deific mask of Lucifer, just more. You said what, bro? No, just knowing that I'm getting the results from doing that, knowing that I'm embodying that energy, especially when I'm working with the Goetia. You know what I'm saying? All the Goetic entities represent for me, you know what I'm saying? They're obedient to Lucifer. They're obedient to me. You know what I'm saying? When they see me, when I go within my subjective realm, my subconscious mind, when I'm doing that, all of them basically are, you know what I'm saying, are there on bended knee to serve my desires, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When I'm maintaining my frame as Lucifer. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta maintain it. It's like that's who I am. You know what I mean? So I might have the sigil on me at the moment where I'm doing the ritual or whatever, and I embody what he represents, especially how they view Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? As being the chief deity within that pantheon. So the results I get from that and working with so many other goetic entities, it's just, I can't express it, man. I just get, once you get results from the shit, it's just, I don't know a word to really describe it, man. It's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing the envelope with the shit and just keep expressing that energy. And this just, like I said, personal experience, man, is just hands-on experience. I mean, I can't put a word on the shit, man. I don't even know if a word exists on how fun it is and how just satisfying it is. But just know there's no limits to it. You see what I'm saying? There's no limits to it. So, but that's how it impacts me when I work with that, man. It's just, it's been very, very satisfying. I'll say the least.
Yeah. And one more thing, I know it was I think it was Jaja had brought it up, talked about the heart chakra, and I'm glad she brought that up because that is important on this path. And I think a lot of people leave that concept out. So we're talking about deific math. For me, when you talk about heart chakra, I'm thinking about Iron Man because that suit ain't gonna work unless that chest plate is operational.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Right. That boy gotta be operating good too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's awesome that you brought that up. I didn't even think about, you know what I'm saying, tapping into the heart chakra by using Iron Man. But I'm happy you brought that up. Now, see, that's another creative way I can do that. Good looking. You see what I'm saying? I never thought about that.
Activated, that he ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Yep.
That boy gotta be open. Damn, that's deep. Damn, I like that. I like that, man. So I'm gonna work with that shit. Good looking, man. Appreciate that shit. See, this is talking about coming up with creative ways and knowing that ain't, like I said, ain't no limit to this shit. You just got me excited, bro. Something for me to know. I gotta tap into that shit. I gotta do some new shit. You know what I'm saying? Something I never thought about. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention.
You're welcome. That's what this is all about.
That's right. That's what it's about. Any other questions, Demetrius?
That's it. Thank you for this subject tonight. This is badass.
Cool. All right, we'll be back.
No doubt.
All right, let me go to
No
La
doubt,
Mano
bro.
del Fuega and check if it works. Let's check. Can you hear me? Man, I can't hear you, girl.
I love that name.
Jesus, it ain't working. I'm trying to think. What could it be? Your computer, are you using your computer? Yes, no? Your computer's not on mute? Go into your settings. And go to, I think, hold on. We're going to fix this right now. Go into your settings and then you go into, I believe you go to, wait a second. System. When you hit your settings, you'll see system and then go to sound and see, it should say, what kind of computer you got? Mac or Windows? If you have a Windows, you hit settings and then you go into sound and then you should be able to see your output device and your input. Your output device should be speakers, headphones, and your input should be microphone. It might be in reverse. Sometimes it messes up like that. So check. Input should be microphone. Check. If you see that, input should be microphone. Okay, yeah, I got Dell too. That's what I'm using. So go into the left-hand side where you see the Microsoft Windows symbol. Click on that. You'll see the symbol that looks like a wheel or gear. And then you hit the settings, go to sound. And then what does it say for input? Does it say microphone? And it's not detecting it? Jeez. Do you have a troubleshoot button there? Because if you do, you might need to hit that. Scroll down a little further on the input side and you'll see where it says test your microphone. And then you'll see under there, test your microphone, you'll see where it says troubleshoot. Hit the troubleshoot, just in case.
How you say that name again, bro?
What, her name?
Yeah.
La
La.
Morena. Morena.
Moeta.
No.
Morena.
Mo. M-O. Rena.
Okay.
You gotta roll the R. If you can't roll the R's, you ain't doing something right in the bedroom. Oh, no, let me stop. Anyways.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. Wait a minute.
You gotta practice.
I can't
See, listen, this is a trick. You gotta roll the roll that tongue. If you can't roll that tongue, man, it's I don't know what to tell you. So go try like that, okay? Can you yeah.
Yeah, I can do
La
that.
La Morena del Fuego. Basically, it's saying the black woman of fire. That's what it is translated to English. Okay,
okay.
Yeah, she's gonna call in, so let's move on.
That's what's up.
Let's move on. Just call in. What number you calling from? Type it in the number you're calling from so I know it's you. Yeah, basically that's what it is. Black woman of fire. So we'll go to Pedro until she calls in. Pedro, you there, brother? Pedro. Hey, Pedro.
Ah, shit, that nigga left.
No, Pedro's here twice, but I can't remember where though. I'll come back to him. All right, we did Mario. Did we do Mario already? We did Mario, right? No?
I don't know.
No? Okay, Mario, you next. When you what number you calling in from, La Morena? Type it in here so I know it's you when you get in. Mario, what's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
What's going on, fam?
I can hear you, brother. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I know we had some technical difficulties yesterday, but yeah, I love this talking about putting on a deific mask. Like you already seen, I have that Darth Vader mask. I put that on all the time. I mean, all the time. And I wanted to say something too for Jaja. Also, like I said before about taking a stethoscope and putting it over your heart and using it to meditate with.
Dope. Good idea.
It works. It works.
Wow.
And since she's a female too, I don't know if she remember the Care Bears, because my sister, she still totes her Care Bear and has a heart over it. And my sister, anytime something is getting to her, she put her hand over that Care Bear and sleeps with it. And she's like 37 years old.
Don't matter the age, it just matters that it works.
That's right.
Yes, sir. And I also want to say this too. When I see you, Rogue Titan, this is who I think of.
See, hold it close. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go in closer.
What's that?
No.
I gotta see that shit too.
All right, I can see it, but not see it.
It's no.
Oh, my nigga.
No.
That's right.
Venom. Yeah, no from Venom.
Yeah, I think about that chaos energy. And
that's right.
And like when it comes to devouring, I use this no face from Spirited Away.
That's a good one though. That's a good one.
I have a Lilith. This is my Lilith.
Yo, that's badass. Where the hell you found this at, man?
Man, flea markets, thrift stores.
That's a badass Lilith, brother. Everybody see that Lilith? That's a badass Lilith, man.
Dang.
If you don't see the Lilith, if you don't see it now when the video is uploaded to YouTube, you'll actually see Mario up close, and you'll see it up close on the video. Sometimes you can't see it while you're in here. That's badass. I need to find
it. Appreciate it. Yep. And like for the deific mask, what I use the most is my own self-created. This is like the face of it. And this is Niam Van Lethamorph. And this
that's bad.
The energy that I created myself. And I have a mask that I've created and I wear it sometimes. And I wear the sigil, I wear it in my shoes. And when I'm out and about, especially working and stuff, dealing with people, dealing with finances, I embody Lex Luthor, because you got to look at Lex Luthor. He was a billionaire himself. So yes, sir, that's who I embody.
Damn, that's ill. That's ill as hell, man.
Yes, sir. And like I was saying too in the chat, you can use Daddy Warbucks. You can use Scrooge McDuck, any of that. You can embody any of that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Hey, Bugs Bunny too, man. When it comes to like beings, just like on some Toon Force chaotic energy, bro.
Yes, sir.
I mess with Bugs Bunny a lot, bro. Most people don't even realize that shit. Bugs Bunny.
That's my boy right there.
That's right, man. Get you an action figure of Bugs Bunny. I mean, you can find one cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like the 5 and below. If y'all got 5 below by y'all, man, I'm telling you, put them up on your altar, man, and embody that energy, man. You're gonna come up with all kind of new creative ways to do all kind of different shit, man. That's one of the ways, one of the masks I put on. My nigga Bugs Bunny, that's some creative.
Yes, and for necromancy, I ordered a Solomon Grundy for necromancy. I'm gonna put that on my altar as soon as they get here. It's nice, real nice. And I use for the female energy. Spawn has a bunch of female demons that you can also use. The Spawn characters.
Damn, I got her, bro. I forgot her name. She's somewhere.
I have Thresher, Widowmaker. Yeah, I love those Spawn characters.
Yeah, I just got the 2 new Spawn comic books that came out. I'm ready.
Oh man.
Yeah, they just came out Friday, so going in this week.
And bro, Ravana, that Dark Sidious that you showed me a picture of, that $400, that is bad ass.
Yes, it is, bro.
Definitely bad ass.
I'm gonna get it.
$400.
I'm starting to get cool with them, so I'm gonna try to negotiate. Bring back that street negotiation. You know what I'm saying? Either take it or leave it, brother. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Embody a Jewish man. Go in there and embody a Jewish man. You can get it.
They're the best negotiators there is, bro.
That's right.
Sir. Yep, most definitely.
Any other questions, bro, or statements?
Oh no, sir.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. I hope your wife is doing good, bro. She good? I think we lost Mario.
Damn.
Yeah, we lost Mario. Okay, I'm gonna check. La Morena de Fuego, are you ready? All right, let's check. I'm on. Are you here? What's going on? Still, you called in with your 567, right? 567. Okay. La Morena de Fuego, is this you?
Hello.
Okay, turn down. I hear an echo. Turn down the computer. Turn the volume down on the computer. Yeah, I can make a beat out of that. That's dope right there. Heard that? We can make a beat out of that, son. Sleep, son.
Hello, hi everybody.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up?
How you doing? Any questions, comments?
No, I just want to say I want to thank everybody for sharing all your personal stories. I really enjoy hearing it, and believe me, we all can identify with everything you're sharing here. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Nothing else. I thought you were just gonna break it down for us. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Oh my gosh. I'm devastated. Right. If we have time, I'm gonna come back around. You better have a question. If not, then hopefully you'll be here next week when the sister will be here teaching as well, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
I'll be here. Yeah.
Appreciate that. All right, let me see. Okay, Pedro. Pedro, you there?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, brother. You kicking back, chilling over there. I had to wake you up.
Yeah, man. I've been just soaking it in. You know what I'm saying? Just listening. I'm tapping in from Boston. But basically, like what I want to know is like, how do I? Because I live in the community I live in, like it's a big city. It's a lot of people. I want to know, how do I implement these like rituals without being outed, or you know what I mean?
Okay, hold on.
You guys get what I'm saying?
Volume a little bit because I couldn't quite hear you. There's background noise somewhere, so hold on real quick.
Hold up. Hold up. Can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
what I want to know is like basically because I live in an apartment complex and there's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of security around me, stuff like that. So what I want to know is like how, where, and when is a good time to like, you know, implement these like rituals and philosophies without, you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's okay. Anytime is a good time to do it. I'll give you an example. Depends what you're trying to do. Let's say if you're trying to do a certain ritual for empowerment, right? You don't have to be in an altar or a place like that. You could do this while you walk down the street. For example, if you're walking down the street and your whole emphasis is to, let's say, you want to get someone or something to do something for you, all you have to do a lot of times is use the power of thought. How do you actually use your vibration to make someone look at you? I'm gonna give you a simple practice to do tomorrow. Walk down the street, pick somebody out and make them smile at you. Okay, just make them smile at you. It's as simple as that. Walk down the street, focus. Now when you focus on them, you're gonna focus on their solar plexus or their brow chakra, okay, between the eyebrows or down here a little bit beneath the heart. And you're going to focus on that and you're going to keep repeating, you're going to smile at me, you're going to smile at me. By the time you get next to them, they will smile at you. But you got to have the conviction and the confidence that you have the ability to make them do that. You've done this before. I know you've seen a little shorty walking down the street. You was like, yo, she hot, son. She hot. I'm going to make her look at me. Right? And then you already put that out in the air. You put that out in the universe and she ended up looking at you, right? That's because you actually use magic at that very moment. You understand? It's not always being in front of an altar. It's not always being things like that. It's utilizing the power of thought anywhere you are at any given time. People do this all the time and don't even realize. Let's say you're going into a bank, right? And you're trying to get a loan for $10,000 and you keep saying, I'm gonna get a loan for $10,000. Here comes the banker back, right? And he says, well, Pedro, we can approve you for $20,000. See, what happened is this: you just went for the low limit of $10,000, which was guaranteed because you already put the work into it through your thought and vibration. But what happens, they came back and offered you more because you already set the bar low. You actually made them raise it through your mental frequency and vibration.
Yo, it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually got a $20,000 loan for an Escalade on my birthday.
Right? That's dope.
It's funny that you mentioned that. It's funny. I actually managed to do that. And I'm like, yo, 29 years old, I got a caddy. Nobody really able to do it. Like another thing that I have something that I'm trying to work on is processing energies. Like I'm what you call an empath. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you guys all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Like I can literally process energies at like certain height levels, but the problem is like I kind of get overwhelmed. You know, I mentioned that in the email that I get overwhelmed, and sometimes I kind of like send it back, and I accidentally get drained when I'm supposed to. You know, saying it's supposed to empower me, but I end up absorbing it and then giving it back. You know what I mean? And giving it back, and the person is basically sending and getting it back, and they're getting more out of it. And I'm trying to learn how to keep it.
Okay.
That's something that I really have a problem with.
Well, it's okay. I'm an empath as well, but the problem with being an empath is deliciously wonderful when you're able to use it for wonderful enrichment and empowerment, but it's also can be devastating because at times it can overwhelm you with too much energy and emotion from other people. And because we feel it on a whole nother level, it can become something detrimental. Well, one way to block off being overwhelmed, I'm gonna just share this part and then I'm gonna let Rogue Titan, because he has good ideas on this too. One way to block off feeling people's emotions so much and just being able to tap into your own, so okay, is visualize a shield, an egg or a shield around your body as you're walking down the street or walking or sitting or whatever you're doing. A big shield, like an egg type shield around your whole body where nothing can penetrate that, okay? Practice this every day for at least an hour a day. It doesn't have to be 1 hour straight, just a total of 1 hour a day. Practice putting a shield around you, and you're going to see how little by little you're going to feel less overwhelmed by people's energies, feelings, and emotions. What happens is when you leave this out, you can hear your own emotions, thoughts, and feelings louder. And this allows you not only to keep away the energy, but be selective if you choose to absorb other people's energy to charge you up. Okay? So practice that. Rogue Titan, I know you got some good jewels on that, so take it away.
Yes. Yes, actually, one of the ways that I, you know what I'm saying, I'm an empath as well, but one of the ways that I've used my, you know what I'm saying, to not be overwhelmed is actually like staying on topic, putting on the deific mask of Dr. Manhattan, because he's basically indifferent to the emotions that humanity give out. He's like, he looks at, you know what I'm saying, he's not really bothered by the emotions of like what it is to be immortal, you know what I'm saying, be a being that can, you know what I'm saying, go off and die or whatever. So, but like tapping and embodying this energy and going about your day, you can kind of like be indifferent to them energies that you get with people coming at you, you know what I'm saying, when you are basically absorbing them. But I will say that you gotta be careful. Me personally, I had to be careful in being so indifferent because it's being insensitive where I'm not able to process certain emotions that I need to, you know what I'm saying, actually go through, you know what I'm saying, emotional communication with different people in my life just so I could, you know what I'm saying, reconcile whatever situation that it is. Because I'm known for being, I can be a very cold person, a very distant or aloof person emotionally. So I gotta be careful in ways that I tap into that energy. But that's one of the deific masks that I put on will be like a person that's going to be indifferent, so to speak. So are those energies and those emotions, people sob stories or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the woe with me attitudes of people that they, you know what I'm saying, they give out with that energy, I'm not affected by it. It just, you know what I'm saying, it just goes, it's not useful to me. I don't use that energy. It just passes through me. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the, you know what I'm saying, that's one of the deific masks that I put on. But like you said, coming up with a shield, you know what I'm saying, walking down the street with that shield and seeing it, using the creativity and the visualization that you have and being able to see it physically from your own perspective is very important as well, because you can just create that shield and see it and see how it's going to affect other people, you know what I'm saying? And you will watch just people just, it's like you walking through water or like you can send out that thought wave and people will part the sea, bro. They just going to get the energies and all those emotions will just move out the way. You see what I'm saying? But it's also good to feel certain emotions sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm married and shit. So I had Dr. Manhattan on my altar for a while, bro. And I was noticing I was too damn indifferent. I was too insensitive. You know what I'm saying? And people coming to me, you know what I'm saying? You're not even processing what's going on, what I'm feeling. So I had to take this nigga up off my altar and shit, because I was tapping into him, not even realizing. You see what I'm saying? So it's all kind of different ways. You just got to balance it out. But that's just one of the creative ways that I use this shit. But know that, you know what I'm saying, you send that energy out, bro, and by putting on that shield, it works, bro. Know and have a confidence that what you're doing is going to actually, you know what I'm saying, it's going to work, bro, and it will.
Also,
great.
Let me add this on as well. Color magic. Certain colors you wear are going to either draw people in and their feelings and emotions or withdraw it. If you wear red sometimes, okay, you wear red sometimes, just notice the difference anytime you throw on red one day. How people just seem to be gravitating or attracted to you, sending you their energy, their emotions, their feelings, as opposed to when you wear all black. People kind of be like, you know what I'm saying, a little standoffish of that, because they're like, yo, what the hell is this dude into? He's wearing all black. You know, that's the way people have been conditioned. Okay?
Yep.
Try that one day. Wear red one day and then wear black the next day, just for you to visually see how people actually react. Like, really pay attention to it, and then you'll see. Color magic has a lot to do with it.
Red is definitely red is definitely my favorite color. I don't wear it as much because, you know, like I'm not trying to be on that. I don't want people, you know, I'm not trying to get checked for gangbanging, because that's kind of heavy out here. So I kind of fall back on wearing that color. But I mean, I do wear a lot of black, and I know that black absorbs. So that's, I guess I gotta find a different color to wear or something.
No, that you can wear black. I wear a lot of black, bro. But I wear all kinds of colors. It's not. I mean, they have the gang shit down here, but it's not as deep as some areas up north. But I wear a lot of black. I wear a lot of Yankee. I know you don't ain't gonna want to hear this. I wear a lot of Yankee colors, but you know what I'm saying. Being from Boston, I can't wear red anyways. But anyways, yeah, I wear blue. You know what I'm saying. I wear these kind of colors. I wear light blue. I wear dark blue and I wear black a lot. That's the colors I wear a lot. But I know when I throw on red, sometimes everybody want to look, everybody want to talk. The whole world wants to be friendly that day. Oh my God, I love your sneakers. Oh my, it's great, it's lovely. Thank you. You know what I mean? But yeah, just do that. Don't try another color if it's not red, just to keep safe. Try wearing the color yellow or green. Try wearing green or yellow because green attracts money. See if you get people, come try to bring you, yo, you need, just see how it works. Just try these things and you'll see the difference between each color you wear, the energies and emotions you're going to either pick up, absorb, or push away. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Any other questions, bro?
No, I mean, not really questions, but I remember, now, we're on the subject as far as like wearing the mask. And I remember back in, when was it? Back in like 2000, like the summer 2008, when when the Carter 3 dropped. And I remember I was like obsessed with Wayne. Like I would literally dress, walk, talk like, and like I literally wanted to be Lil Wayne. And I would literally like everything that he was rapping in, like I was literally like living it. I mean, I wasn't doing it all the. I mean, I was smoking a lot. I wasn't popping pills or nothing. But I remember, and as far as like social life goes, when I was like emulating that energy, that's when I was like at the peak of like my social hierarchy because I was wearing that Lil Wayne. It might sound corny, but I was wearing that Lil Wayne like Deific mask, and it worked. It really worked.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like I was like every shorty, but I was just bagging shorties without even dropping. Because all I would do was smoke weed and listen to Lil Wayne, and I was just literally just getting everything I wanted. And it works. It really works.
Yes, it does, bro.
Whatever works.
Yeah. But that's why I mentioned earlier, if you use examples like, what I'm saying, some of us who are deep into hip hop, that's some of the examples that actually you'll start to see how Deific masks work because we start to embody, like me, I'm a little old school, so KRS-One was my man, you know what I'm saying? That was me. You know what I mean? And then, in the 90s, it was Big Pun. That was my other man. So when I embody that, I can actually feel like the energy of Big Pun sometimes, the vibration frequency when he was just dropping in joints. It works. And that's ways to practice this. For women, whoever you were feeling, as far as singers, whether it was male or female singers, try embodying that. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I used to love Diana Ross. I used to, don't ask me why I try to sing it, but, I was trying to sing that shit. You know what I mean? And you feel that energy and frequency of these things. So, yeah, it does work. You anything else, bro?
No, I mean, as far as like a character goes, I think the one character that I do, I think I've always identified with was we got Dragon Ball fans here. Vegeta. Yeah. Vegeta was always my main man right there, man.
Yeah, that's
Vegeta was that dude because what's the name? Necrocan? Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. Vegeta
and so
was
did Rogue Titan.
Because he was the one, he was the unsung hero that everybody knew. Without Vegeta, Goku would have never gotten as far as he would without Vegeta. And you know what I'm saying? Like one of my main homies from back in the day, he was like Goku because he was just naturally strong. But he just did he was just lazy as hell, but he was just naturally like gifted. Me, I had to work twice as hard for everything. And I was so angry and bitter towards him, you know what I mean? And he could just sit around and do nothing. He just got everything that he wanted. Me, I had to like work for it, kind of like Vegeta, you know what I mean? I was like arrogant and cocky like him. So I kind of like, I would kind of like emulate that, you know what I mean? I was the one person that's like, oh yeah, everybody hates Vegeta, but you need him. And without him, you got to put up with him. And that's kind of how I've always been. But
True that.
That's what's up, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right, let me continue because we're getting short on time. All right, I also want to say this. Brother Phil dropped a little jewel here. He's a real estate investor as well as I am. He says here, whenever he needs to approach the city or banks for money or permission to build, etc., he wears a pink shirt with a suit and a black tie, or a white shirt with a black suit and green or light blue tie. It helps persuade who I'm talking to agree with what I want. Okay, and then plus talking fast, throwing in a joke or two, etc., all works in setting the stage. And he's 100% correct. I know because I myself have done this, especially in the business world. The suit sets the tone, and the tie sets the vibration. That tie, the certain color codes on the tie is basically letting people know that you know or don't know. You understand? It's almost like the same when you go into a court, right? People don't understand that the court is a game. When you go into the courthouse, it's a game. So if you go in there wearing some saggy sags and, you know what I'm saying, looking all rough and stuff, the judge gonna look at you and say, give him 10 off rip, because you look like a joke, and you're not playing by the rules of the court. The name is a court for a reason. If you play basketball on a court, right, and you come there playing basketball and you're with a team, you have to have a certain uniform, correct? When you go to court, you always should wear a dark suit or dark navy blue suit. It represents something to the court. You understand? So, yeah. So let's keep it moving, and let's see who else is next here. All right, we got two more people, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So I'm gonna go to Jeff. Brother Jeff, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I know y'all can't see me, but hold on. Let me change my video. All right. Okay.
Good,
this is what I want to share. I don't know if y'all can see it, but
you could.
When we were talking, when y'all was talking about creating yourself, creating an image of yourself, right? Try using wax. Okay, and I know hopefully y'all can see that here. These are wax tarts. I get them Yankee Candle, right? Tarts melt, and you buy them in a box or whatever, but you can mix the colors and stuff, right? So you can you use your color magic with that, and what you want to do is you want to melt the wax. Hopefully y'all can see that. You want to melt the wax here. Don't be sloppy like this and shit. I just did that.
Right.
But you can scrape that off. But you want to melt the wax, right? And get something you can pour the wax in, like this here, and you pour it in, okay? And then what happens is you freeze this, right? And then once you freeze it, you then create a then what you do is then you break it out of the mold, and then you start carving it, okay? And that right there will you can carve yourself. So you can put weapons on yourself. You can do, anything you want to the carving. And then you can, you can anoint it. Like you can put your semen in it, some cum in it, women. You can put your menstrual blood in it. You can put hair, fingernails, anything that's not fungi induced, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that, and you do that. And it will be yours, and then you can create it and do anything with it. I mean, even if you want to make it as a candle, before you start putting the wax, you have to make sure your stem is up tall. That's all. You pour it in there, and you can make any colors you want, chakra colors, and etc. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit.
Appreciate that. That's dope, bro.
Yeah,
that's dope as hell, man. Good looking, bro. Appreciate you, dude.
All right.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Hey, man, our comment section, man, they've been the chat room been jumping off, man. It's a whole bunch of shit up in there.
I was seeing a lot of stuff popping over here, so I got to look over to my right all the time. All right, let's see. Where's Sandy? Sandy's the last person. Look at Trina. Trina all wrapped up in a blanket, like she's just chilling, son. Jesus.
Let me see, where she at?
And she up there. She right there in the top right. She over there wrapped up in a blanket, like she's just ready to sleep. Sandy, hold on. Give me a sec. Okay, Sandy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you, Sandy?
I'm doing good, thank you. I don't have anything to say other than thank you to everyone for sharing their stories. It's a good topic.
All right.
I don't have questions.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
All right. All right, y'all. So let's finish this up real tight. Let's do our last comments, closing comments, things like that. So yeah, as we were discussing, the deific mask, embodying the mask, embodying the power, the essence of it. As y'all heard, you heard many different examples this evening. Everybody has their own creative way. There is no wrong way. There is nothing but right ways. It's your way. That's the right way. So always follow your way, regardless what anybody else says. If it works for you, that's all that counts. Make it work for you. So you can do many different things. Like Brother Jeff shared, that's one concept. You can actually get a mask made. That's another concept, like Trina shared. There's a lot of different things that you can do to make this a reality. The key is just do it. We say that every week. We use the Nike slogan, just do it every week, because that's essentially what it comes down to. Just doing the work. That's it. We've been saying this for years on the radio show, when we were on the radio show, to today. Just do it. Do the work. That's the most important thing. People are doing the work, and you can see that as you're doing it, it's growing, you're transforming, you're changing. That's all that counts. For all the new people that came in tonight, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all sharing. Appreciate y'all discussing. Stay in touch. If you want, let me put my email address here. You can see it in the chat room. Cool. If you can't, I'll just say it. darkcultist99@outlook.com. Darkness Bay, I think he's gone. Darkness Bay, I sent you the request for the 11 points of power. I sent you that. And I sent, who else had asked that? Jaja. I sent Jaja that. Hopefully y'all got it. Oh, there is one more person. Hold on. Let me take this one more person. He looked like he's sleeping, so let me wake him up real quick. Smooth T.
Yo.
Let me take you real quick, because I bypassed you. My bad, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, I've been doing this deific mask thing for a while, man. I ain't even know it. And I've been a Donatello ass nigga for a long ass. Ninja Turtles and all that type of shit, man. On the real.
Right.
The Black Ranger and all that type of shit. But no, I wanted to know, when doing the deific mask, doing a ritual, because I kind of use the deific mask, on my day-to-day going to work, but what would be a good way to use it, like if I'm doing it in like a ritual setting and I want to, you know what I'm saying, utilize this deific mask? Like, is that the same thing as invoking? Like, am I using this deity to kind of like see the goal through, and that would be the ritual? Or like, how would I really use that deific mask to,
in a ritual sense?
Yeah, exactly, to help fuel my intent.
Okay, you're wearing a mask already in your ritual. That's what you're saying. You're wearing a mask, right? Or you have a, or you're trying to represent that deity, right?
Exactly.
Essentially, what happens when you're actually doing it in ritual, you actually going to feel the surge of energy, and your consciousness is going to shift, and you're going to actually become that. You're going to embody that. Another way that happens sometimes is when we do drumming rituals, like we've done here before. You actually start to get what is called ridden or mounted by the energy. Okay, you get ridden or mounted. As Trina was sharing with me, and I want to put this back out again. In May, we're looking to have a ritual here in Orlando. So this like 2.5 months from here, if any of y'all can make it, one of the things we're going to do is have a drumming ritual so y'all can feel what it's like to be mounted by the actual energy. You can actually feel it. okay? And it's going to actually alter your state of consciousness where you're going to feel like a surge of energy take over your body, and your body's going to move without you consciously moving it. It's a very unique experience, but in order to really understand a different aspect of what it means to embody the Deific Mass, if y'all can make it down here, please do make it, because the drumming is going to alter your state of consciousness, and you're going to, you're going to literally be mounted. Trina experienced this firsthand, and she was wowed and amazed, and has ridden on a higher level ever since, okay? Because it does something to you. So that's another way I'm gonna share that if you really want to experience what it is to be that, or experience what it means to feel that, try to make it here in May. That's what we're shooting for, so that y'all could actually experience the actual ritual. If even half of y'all come down here, it's all good. You understand? You're gonna really experience what it means like. But if you're not embodying or being ridden by the spirit, essentially what happens in the ritual itself, as you do the invocation actually increases the surge of energy of the archetype you're trying to work with. And that starts to shift or alter your state of consciousness, and you'll start to feel the difference. Okay?
Okay.
When you work the ritual, the main thing, if you really want to encompass this, next time you do a certain ritual with a certain archetype, repeat the invocation 3 or more times. People sometimes just to repeat the invocation once. No, do it at least 3 or more times if you really want to feel what it's like to embody the energy of that archetype. Far too often we just do it one time, and then if we don't get nothing, we like, this sucks. No, do it 3 times in the same ritual, at least 3 times, repeat it. Okay? Some of y'all who I sent the Lilith ritual to, some of y'all who did it, they've done it multiple times, and they was like, whoa, this thing just took off. All right? So yeah, just try that next time. Whatever archetype you choose to work with, and use the invocation 3 times or more, and see if you notice the difference, and you'll start to understand the Deific Mass more.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
No doubt.
All right, so Rogue. So yeah, let me finish with this. So my contact information, darkcultist99, outlook.com. Of course, y'all know the name of the channel, Dark Side Unleashed. I changed the name for a reason. I changed it because we're going to do more in-depth work on the shadow, on the vampiric, the luciferic, and Sith aspect of degree work. So we're going to get more into that. Next Sunday is going to be myself, Brother Rogue Titan, and the sister Cosmic Serpent will be back. And all 3 of us will be there. We will come up with the topic. Probably by Tuesday, we'll have the topic. If you're on Instagram, you can find myself under Dark Side, all one word, Dark Side _Unleashed. You can find the Cosmic Serpent there at the.cosmic the serpent. And I'll let Rogue Titan finish it off. Take it away, brother.
No doubt. You can contact me on, you know what I'm saying, my IG is the, you know what I'm saying, this is lowercase the _rogue ROGUE _Titan 0125. You know what I'm saying? My email is shannon.jeffries0125@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I try to have all kind of new ways, new creative ways to try to implement all the things that we discussed tonight daily, coming up with new ideas. And I love the feedback. People coming let me know their testimonials of, you know what I'm saying, employing a lot of the methodology that I have and giving me new ideas, new ways of looking at things. And I just, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate all the love and support that everybody put within the chat, everybody who come at me constantly with my emails and text messages, and just keep pushing the envelope with your creativity and knowing that you the center of your existence and you the God of your reality, and all power is at your disposal. And once you tap into that shit, you know what I'm saying, can't nobody take that from you. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody listening to us tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm amped up. I might do my own little personal video later on tonight based on the energy that I absorbed in this conversation. So
do it.
I might just do that. But just like I said, man, keep pushing the envelope. Everybody coming up with new ways, and just know that, man, it ain't no limit to your chaos, and your chaos reigns supreme. So, man, that's it, man. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. We hit this boy out the park, man. This is good.
Appreciate that. All right. Thank y'all for showing up. Again, if you need to contact us, do so. You got the contact information. If y'all need any anybody else needs 11 Luciferin points power, hit me up. Or any other rituals, hit me up. We'll check y'all. Oh yeah, also other comment. Thursday, we're doing a private class. We're going into the vampiric current knee deep. So Thursday, we're going to go into it. Before we actually go further, we're going to have it open to everybody. If y'all want to come to the vampiric class, we do it here on Zoom. Email me. That's the first. It's going to be the introduction to the vampiric class, and after that, it's going to be strictly private classes if you want to sign up for that. All right. So Thursday is going to be the vampiric class on Zoom. It's not recorded because we go over more private information on how to actually work these vampiric rituals in greater detail. Hit me up. darkcoaches99@outlook.com. Friday, I'll have another discussion on YouTube Live. See y'all there. Pieces alive. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken.
That's right.